Welcome to episode 35 of the We Don't Know Jack podcast. Emily's here as always.
Haven't left?
Not going to.
Hopefully not. Don't kick me off.
Never. Gabe from Rock and Wrestling is here.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
We have a big guest today, very special guest.
Absolutely.
We've been trying to get a pro wrestler on this show for a long time, and we have our very first in-studio. We have not had an in-studio guest in a long time. That wasn't somebody I knew.
In a while. Yeah.
I don't know if we've ever had an in-studio guest that wasn't somebody I work with.
I don't think we have.
It's been a while. Yeah, I think you were our first, big in-studio guest. Welcome to the show. He's a two-time United Glory Tag Team Champion. He's won every title possible in the Harley Races promotion that I mess up the name of every single time. World
League Wrestling.
That's it. World League Wrestling. He had an NWA title. He's been everywhere. You've seen him on local shows. Welcome to the show, the Deliverer, Moses.
What up? Thank you, guys. Pleasure being here. I appreciate you guys for having me.
We're very excited to have you. How you doing today?
Not too bad, man. You know, a little tired. The grind, you know how it is, being an indie wrestler. You know, trying to make it out here, trying to make it big. But, you know, I'm excited to be here.
We're excited to have you. We've been wanting to make this work for a while. And we met you at the Glory Pro show. We did Rock and Wrestling at the other day.
Yes, sir.
And you came up to us, which was really cool.
Heck yeah. I saw you guys over there. I'm like, man, looks like they're doing interviews or something. I need to go over there and, you know, kind of check that out. Because I like doing that type of stuff, you know. It's good, you know, practice because you know, when you make it to a certain level, you're going to have to do a lot of that. You know, people often see, you know, they see the in-ring stuff, you know, like, oh, that looks great. But, you know, when you're a professional wrestler, like, there's a whole lot of categories that go into that job. And a lot of it is, you know, a lot of interviews, a lot of different things like that, autograph signs and that type of stuff. So, you know, I definitely enjoy doing that, you know, because, again, you know, people don't think about the outside stuff. Like, when you win the WWE Championship at WrestleMania, like, you're not going home to, you know, party or enjoy it. No, you're going to be on the Today Show. Yeah, you're flying somewhere to be on the interview the next morning. So, you know, it's that type of stuff that I enjoy. So, yeah, I really like doing that type of stuff for sure.
Awesome. It was really cool you came up to us, too, because we had zero clue what we were doing that day. Mm-hmm. I don't know. We looked like we did.
Yeah. No, you could have fooled me.
Did not know what was going on.
Yeah, because I know when I came out and introduced Corey, too, he's like, hey, you know, they're doing interviews over there. So go over there, you know, kind of talk to them if you guys see if you want to do an interview. You know, sometimes, like, it can get a little hectic before shows. Yeah. So I'm like, oh, man. I was kind of pressed for time. He's like, you know what? Let me go do this, though. So I went over there, introduced myself to you guys. You guys were super cool about it. So, yeah, I'm glad we can make it happen.
We're glad to be able to do it. It was really cool because, like, we're just some random college kids that we got lucky that Corey said we could come down there. And to get permission was a whole thing to be able to do it.
Yeah, no,
you got to get permission from school, and then the equipment. We got to get the equipment. Everything had to work right. There wasn't a not soccer. There wasn't a hockey game. There wasn't a football game. There wasn't a road game. So we were good. We could get the equipment. You got to take all kinds. You saw we had all kinds of equipment down there, fancy equipment.
Yeah, I'm sure that stuff's expensive. You got to be real careful with that.
It's absurdly expensive.
That stuff, yeah.
I'm not going to say how much, but it's a lot.
No, I believe it. Yeah,
it's a lot, and we're taking it all down there again with even more stuff because we're taking I have my own podcast set up. I have my own mics and board and stuff. We're taking all that down there this time.
Nice.
To Cherokee Street.
That's tight. Yeah, that'll be fun.
I've never been to the Castle Loma Ballroom before.
Yeah, no, I didn't even realize. So there's a promotion back in the day, not too long ago. They used to run there, and I've never been in that building, and I used to watch their videos on YouTube. And then one of the guys that pointed it out was like, hey, you know, this is the building we're in, you know, where they used to run. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So, yeah, it's a nice venue. I enjoy it. The fans are super, you know, hyped down there. They get really into it. So, you know, I always love those shows, and this Sunday will be a good one.
I've heard the crowds get aggressive. Not aggressive, but they get, especially for boxing.
Yeah.
I know there was a fight going on, and somebody in the corner jumped the other fighter.
Oh, my God.
And a whole fight broke out, and by the time it got cleared up, the police showed up after everybody had left.
So I've never seen anything like that.
But that was boxing, though.
I've never been to an independent boxing show. I know Glory Pro actually runs them now. Unfortunately, I had a show on that day where they did run one. Yeah, they did. Glory Sports Promotions. They ran a boxing event.
Really?
So, yeah, I wasn't able to make it. I had a show that day, but I definitely want to make the next one. You know, I think it'd be a pretty cool thing to see. You know, just like, you know, wrestling. You know, you see your wrestling on TV, and then you go to, you know, a WWE or AEW show where it's like a larger arena. But then you go to your indie shows where it's more like small and kind of intimate. So I feel like a small and intimate boxing show would be pretty cool too.
They're awesome.
Yeah, because then you see up close like those guys getting hit real hard. Oh man, like I'm kind of, you know, yeah.
Indie shows are so much more fun for me. I enjoy the small They pack you in there sometimes.
They do.
Some of the Glory Pro shows are packed.
Sometimes like
and
the
they
guys
give you no room.
will even help like set up the chairs and stuff like that, and like it's kind of close together. Like space these out. Like no, you got to put them closer. Like, all right, whatever you guys want. So yeah, no, they do pack you guys in there, but you guys are loud. You bring the energy every time. So yeah, it's great atmosphere, most definitely.
I was at a show a couple years ago with my dad. We were sitting front row. It was the Suzuki Davey Richards show.
Oh yeah, yeah, I was.
I think you were. That was when Team Ambition would sit around the ring.
Yep, that was.
And
that was
all around the ring.
That was crazy because like.
That's two incredible.
Yeah, right
workers.
before we went out, like the ref warned us. We're like, hey, like Suzuki, he's like super aggressive. Sometimes like he'll, grab like one of the young boys and like kind of hit him or whatever. So we're kind of like nervous going out there. It's like, man, like what if he goes off on the rails and just grabs us and start beating us up? Because Suzuki, he's legit. He's no joke.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's an MMA fighter.
So yeah, it was kind of that atmosphere for that match was amazing. That was incredible, and it was super cool seeing it, up close because being around the ring, surrounding the ring, we're patting on the ring, and then at one point. Suzuki got out of the ring and kind of like walked towards us, and there's kind of like a little stare down. We're like, oh, like what's about to happen here? Like we don't know, anything could have happened. So luckily he didn't grab us and punch us or anything.
That's good.
But yeah, it was super cool. That was an awesome show.
So you're a non-wrestling fan, Emily?
Yeah.
Or new?
Well, okay.
I'm trying to get you into wrestling.
I don't know if that's gonna happen.
I'm trying.
It's gonna happen.
I've tried.
I like the old school because I remember when I was little when like John Cena was a
John Cena's coming back.
Well,
he is.
when he was
It's a
like
retirement tour.
when he was a
He'll be in St.
regular,
Louis.
when he was a regular and he'd show up every. I don't know. Yeah, every week he'd be there, or like The Rock was still around.
When she says the old days, she's talking about 2013.
Okay, yeah.
No, I'm talking about like 2010.
Yeah.
What 2009?
Like when Miz was main event in WrestleMania.
Yeah, no, that's fair. See,
Yeah.
and that's the cool thing about wrestling. Like, there's different timelines for different people. Because, like, for her, that's an old day. You know what I'm saying? For me, it might be like, back in the attitude aggression era, ruthless aggression. Say attitude aggression. I combine attitude.
They're very similar.
Yeah. I combine the two. But the ruthless aggression era, it's kind of when I was coming up. Then if you ask somebody else, the old times might be, the attitude era. Or even pre-attitude era. You go all the way back to like Gorgeous George, who was a wrestler a long time ago.
Gorgeous George was great.
Yeah. So you could like, it just depends on who you ask. You know what I mean? When I talk to like my uncles about it and stuff like that, they'll mention like the Terry Funks and you know what I'm saying? Like,
I wish I could have seen them.
Yeah, the Von Erichs, a bunch of like the older guys. So
the Von Erichs would have been so cool.
I think that's cool that you consider that part like the old era for you.
Yeah,
that's kind of cool.
The old era for me is Thunderdome.
Yeah, that's wild.
So.
Exactly. See, yeah, that's
that
crazy.
was like 3 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, anyway, Minoru Suzuki. Do you know what his nickname is? A little trivia for you.
Do I know his nickname? I might not.
It's Murder Grandpa.
Okay, I have heard that. I don't know. Is that like his official?
It's just I don't know if I heard.
Okay,
for him,
yeah. I know like some people. I've heard it on like social media. I don't know. I was like trying to think like, did he ever have like a T-shirt that said "Murder Grandpa"? That'd be kind of cool.
I wouldn't be shocked if Suzuki never had a T-shirt.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's just the towel, man. The towel in the trunks.
He's the kind of guy that would, if he told them the word merchandise, he would be like, no.
Yeah, and you're not gonna argue with him.
He wears a towel over his head, and the whole crowd sings along his entrance. When he comes, Kaze needing a red, they say. It's awesome. It's really cool. I had no idea who he was the first time I saw him. The place went nuts when he came out. It was really cool. And he's like, what, 5'7"?
Yeah, he's not very big at all.
He's 5'7", probably 200 pounds.
Yeah, because I took a picture with him at one other show he was at. When I was super nervous to do that, too. I was like, oh, man, like, is he going to grab my phone and, like, throw it out the you know what I mean? But no, he's super nice. He is. You know what I'm saying?
He's really nice.
But, when he gets in the ring, he turns that switch on to where now, it's game on. He's nobody to be messed with. So, yeah.
He looks like he would kill someone.
He's legit.
Yeah, he's legit. Does he speak English well?
Very little. But he can,
When I met him, it was right after he wrestled Samoa Joe, and they beat the crap out of each other.
Yeah.
And I said, great match with Joe the other night, and he said, he just put his hand out to shake my hand.
Yeah. He knows a little bit English, but he has a legitimate background too. That's the other thing. So like, he's one of those guys where like, if he really wants to get in there and like rip you apart, he can.
Oh yeah. I wouldn't mess with him.
Yeah, no, not at all.
You mentioned flipping the switch. I want to ask, what's that process like for you? Like when you're getting into that ring, when you're walking out, what's that process like? Switching.
So for me, and it's different for different people. Sometimes guys have to like, listen to music, or they'll like jump around a lot, and kind of hype themselves up, slap themselves in the face, punch themselves. Me, I'm kind of like chill when I'm back there. Like right before my match, like I like to, sit somewhere, chill. I like to pray before all my matches. My faith is the number one most important thing to me. So, I pray and I kind of just sit down and kind of just chill and sit there. No music, no nothing, just kind of just blank face. And then even all the way up until my music hits, I'll kind of just stand there. And I'll kind of if somebody's there around me or something, I kind of look at them might, say a joke or something like that. And then, once you hit that curtain though, it's boom, you hit the curtain. Now the lights are on you. Now the fans are chanting your name or screaming for you, cheering or booing, depending on what position you're in. And it's kind of just game time. So for me, it's it's real quick. It's not a long process where I have to kind of warm up and get into that mindset. It's just simple. As soon as I break through that curtain, that's it. It's time to go. Yeah, that's how I look at it.
Is that process different for a tag match when you're pairing with somebody?
It's really the same thing because my tag team partner, Raheem De La Suede, he's super chill, laid back dude. He'll be the same way.
He seems like the most laid back person.
Yeah, he's very
Everything
chill.
I've seen of him,
so
he's
we'll be sitting back there just cracking jokes. You know what I mean? We'll kind of just mock people or whatever, just laugh and just joking around. Then we'll if the music hit, we'll look at each other and all right, you ready to go? I was yep. All right, we'll just go out there. And then he'll be oh, you first. I'm no, you go first. And we'll joke around like that. And then once we hit the curtain again, it's the switch is turned on and it's time, game time. So I'm gonna go out there and do our thing. Definitely.
What's your entrance song?
It's Coming in Hot by Andy Mineo. So that's our tag team one.
Do you have an individual one too?
Yeah. It's Kid Ink, the movement. So I first heard it on. It was a UFC video game the first time I heard it, and I was I kind of liked it. It's crazy. That is
the hardest game I've ever played.
Yeah, it is. No, those games
There's
are
so
super.
many. You think the WWE game's hard?
I stopped playing them. I don't play them anymore because I just got kind of mad. I was I'm not playing this anymore.
My friend gets mad at me when we play it because he likes to just box. I said, we're not playing boxing. We're playing UFC. And he gets mad at me when I choke him out.
Yeah.
And he goes, that's not what we're playing. I said, it's UFC.
I could never figure out that submission system.
I can't either.
For the life of me. But yeah, I'd heard that song, The Movement by Kid Ink. I heard that song this may have been 2013, 2014, so which is crazy. I was I kind of like that song. And back then, you think about I might want to be a professional wrestler, but you never know if it's actually going to happen. So maybe that would be my song if I was a wrestler. And now, here we are. So that was 2014, 10 years later. Now I actually use that for an intro song, which is kind of funny. Yeah, so.
Did you grow up playing a lot of the WWE, SmackDown versus Raw games?
I did.
What's your favorite?
My personal favorite has to be SmackDown vs. Raw 2011.
That's a great game.
I just have an emotional connection to that one. I loved it. The road to WrestleMania where you create your. They had the different ones. I think they had Chris Jericho, Mysterio. John Cena, Rey Mysterio. I think
Christian might have one.
Christian and maybe John Morrison. I can't remember. But then they had the custom one where you try to defeat the Undertaker, which that's the one I played over and over and over and over and over and over again. And I actually did beat the Undertaker one of those times, which is really hard to do. Now, I don't know what difficulty it was on because back in 2011, I don't think I was paying attention to the difficulties.
So 9 then?
Yeah, so, no, how old was I?
Yeah.
11. So whatever year it is, that's easy for me to keep track. Whatever year it is.
2000.
Whatever year it is, that's how old I am. So I was 11 at that point. I didn't really pay attention to, game difficulties and settings. So, looking back on it, it probably wasn't on the hardest difficulty.
Oh, yeah.
Which now I'm coming to that realization kind of makes me a little sad. So now I might have to buy
tell people that.
Yeah. I might have to buy the game now and try to go back and do it and make sure it's on the hardest difficulty.
I bought it a couple years ago.
Yeah, that was my
PS3.
I wish, when I found out that Xbox does the backwards compatibility for the games, I was I wonder if they do it for SVR 2011, but they don't, unfortunately. So I was kind of bummed about that. I was man, that's a bummer. I'd have to buy, the old Xbox 360, which I think I still do have one, but
you gotta go find it.
Yeah, and then all the wires and all that stuff. So
yeah, some of the old systems you gotta have components.
Yeah, yep.
The Wii.
And I don't even know if TVs still have that nowadays.
Mine doesn't.
Do they have where you put in the red, white, and yellow? I don't even know they have.
You have to buy a separate
adapter.
thing, an adapter.
And adapters, they never work.
Yeah.
I got a new phone. You know the new iPhone has a different cord.
Yeah, it does.
So in my car, I got a 2010 RAV4. It's old. There's no aux cord in that. There's an aux cord, but I had to put the adapter on it because no headphone jack. It's the old phone. Now I have an adapter on that.
Yeah.
I have 2 adapters on an aux cord. It doesn't work.
By the time you're done, there's 3 or 4 different cords connected to each other.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't work. So you're okay, I just wasted so much money for no reason.
Thankfully, my mom bought it all. But,
It's
but it works for other stuff. It just doesn't work for that.
Yeah, the new iPhone chargers kind of caught me. I know we're going off on a tangent here.
Well, that's our show.
The new iPhone
is the name of the show.
I didn't even know about those till like recently because I just got now I have the 15 Pro Max, and then like 2 weeks later they come out with the 16. It's like whatever. I don't think there's a big difference between the two, but I remember before I had the 15 Pro Max, I had I think it was like the 13 Pro Max or something like that. So it was a bigger one, but it still had the older iPhone charger, which is weird to say now because then you got the old iPhone charger, which was like
the thick one.
Yeah. So this is the little tiny one, and then I'd be at work. I'd be like, I ask my boss like, "Hey, can I use your charger?" He'd be like, "Oh, you have the old one or the new one?" I'm like, "What do you mean, like the old one or the new one?" And then he pulled out the newer one.
It looks the same.
Yeah. So I'm like, "What's going on?"
Except it's round.
Yeah. It's I don't know, but I guess it charges it faster or something like that.
It charges real fast.
Well, that and I was a IT technician for a little bit.
Oh, nice. That's tight.
So,
I forgot about that.
the thing. Oh, wow, you pay attention to me.
You don't pay attention when I talk, so.
But we were talking about it because I was a IT tech for Francis Howell, which we just talked about.
Go Vikings.
Go Vikings.
Yeah.
We found out they overlapped in high school. Emily and Moses overlapped for a year in high school.
H-O-W-E-L-L. That was a chant.
Yeah.
Shout out to Francis Howell.
That's crazy. You guys went to high school together.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Small world. Small world.
I texted my mom. My brother remembers you.
Does he?
He thinks that you guys had. Do you take an outdoor ed class?
I did.
Okay, my brother was in that with you because I asked
who the teacher was for that.
When I was there, it was Mr. Stroh.
Yeah, I think that was. Yeah,
he was a
Stroh.
wrestling coach. Yeah.
I loved having Stroh as a teacher. It was because he was my wrestling coach. That was.
I played Uno in that class forever.
He
didn't care.
I'm pretty sure. I don't want to take credit for it, but I'm going to anyways. I'm pretty sure my class started that because
Really?
Because I started bringing Uno cards. Nobody was really playing. Listen, nobody was really playing Uno before then. Like, they might have been. Okay, I'm not gonna say like I didn't create Uno. They might have been playing, but no. Listen, like it got to the point where like I would bring them to the football games.
You brought Uno,
and we would play them at the football games, like during halftime. Like me in the student section, we'd sit around.
Yeah.
Fun fact about the student section and like the How Superfans page. I'm still the Twitter profile picture.
Really?
How Superfans page. I always go check it every once in a while. I'll go check it. I think it's called How Superfans. If you find it on Twitter.
How Superfans.
Yep. You'll see me holding like a Friends How, blue Friends How flag.
HOWELL.
Mm-hmm. How Superfans. I think he's checking on Twitter right or X.
Oh yeah, you're holding the flag.
Yep.
It is?
Yeah.
You are young in this picture.
I was very young in that picture.
That's you, right?
That's me. Yep. Couldn't have been any older than
14,
17, 18. Because that was later on. That was definitely junior, senior year.
So you're 16, 17? Oh yeah, you're the only one that you follow.
Yep.
It says followed by Moses.
Yep.
I didn't even know that was an account.
I went there. It's got 2,500 followers.
There were some wild accounts. There was even like one account called Friends How High School Hallways, where like people would tweet stuff that's said in the hallways. That one would get a little crazier.
That's scary. Some of the stuff I heard, Eureka.
Yeah, that one would get a little crazier. We had one
that people would write in the bathroom stall, and people would take photos and submit it to the account.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, they got a little crazy on there. I don't know who.
Yeah,
I don't know who ran that, but
we had a bad parking account.
Oh, really?
Every school has that.
My sister was the featured person on it.
Oh, no.
Pictures from our house where she would like park on the curb, but she'd park halfway up the yard. You know, when you park on the curb, your side tires are on the curb. Well, her other side tires were on the curb.
Oh.
Like she would pull the car into the yard.
Oh, man. Yeah, there's some high school, man. It was a wild time. But no, yeah, I used to bring the Uno cards and we'd play it in Stroh's class sometimes, or, we'd play at the football games. So, yeah, Did
you play football?
I did for 2 years. I was really small in high school. Like, some people now that I went to high school with, they'll see me and they're like, man, you got big. Like, I was like, in high school, I was like, if you see it in that picture, I was like 5'6", maybe. And then, like, at the heaviest, I ever got was like 130 pounds.
I graduated at 120. Absolutely. I was 128 when I graduated.
Yeah, I was tiny in high school. So, like, now I'm like 210. So, it's been quite the process. But I kind of, I started growing later than everybody else did, Everybody else hit puberty, like, much earlier than I did. So now, like, I'll see some of the people, I'll either, like, be just as tall as them or if not bigger. So, and it's like, oh, man, you got big. You've been working out. Which, yes, I have been working out a lot. But, it's just, everybody grows at different paces. So it's kind of funny, like, seeing that now,
I get the opposite response. People see me like, damn, boy, you got fat.
No, man. No, it's,
I'm 80 pounds heavier than I was when I graduated high school.
It's always interesting to see, people. I ran into a guy I went to school with the other day, and I'm like, man, you look different. He's like, so do you. And we're kind of like, all right, good to see you, and then just went to our cars. But yeah, it's always funny those interactions. But yeah, I enjoyed my time in Princess Howell. It was really fun. Again, shout out to Kevin Stroh. He was the head wrestling coach at that time. Now I think he coaches the girls wrestling team, which is cool.
Yeah.
So yeah. It's actually my little sister goes there now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, my dad is a substitute teacher there now,
Nice.
so it was weird because
You got a weird connection. I didn't know.
Yeah, we do. It's kind of cool. It's interesting. I even talking about it more. Yeah.
I graduated from there, and my dad retired that same year, and he goes, "Yeah, I'm gonna start being a substitute there." And I'm like, "Thank God I graduated because I would not want to be still at school while he's teaching."
That would be interesting for sure.
And all the kids there love him. And I'm like...
You sound surprised.
Oh, yeah, because the kids at the school he used to work at hated him because he actually, made them do homework.
Yeah.
But now the kids there love him.
Yeah, that's how it is.
It's a very different area.
Everybody likes to substitute teachers more. It's like, because, they can't make you do anything. You know what I mean? But,
We had a guy, we were talking about, I talked about to Casey with this the other day. We had a guy, his name was Mr. Wilson. Everybody just called him Wilson. He was 75 and was a retired cop.
Nice.
That was just teaching for fun.
Uh-huh.
And he would tell this story. There was an old commercial in 98, 99. It'd be like, it's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your kids are? That was him.
Oh, really?
We found out. Have you heard of this commercial?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Wilson. That was Mr. Wilson.
That's kind of crazy.
And apparently his eyes were bad.
Uh-huh.
And he failed the eye exam and he couldn't be a cop. And he was so sad. And back then, they only had one eye exam, and it was on the album cover of the Beach Boys. He went home and he memorized it. He became a cop.
He cheated?
I don't know his name. We know him as Wilson. I don't know anything about him other than that. This was 50 years ago, too, so they can't do anything now.
Yeah, no.
The statute of limitations is long
gone at that point.
It's the same guy. We have a math class. He talked for the entire time. It was finals week, too. So, when you really need your teacher there, when you're going to fail math otherwise. Because I think I had a 67 in math at the time. I was like, I have to pass this.
Yeah.
Or I can't take this class again. And he talked the entire time about nothing. And it was the most fun I ever had. But I was kind of mad because I needed to help.
Yeah, you're sweating a little bit. Like, I got to do it. Actually,
teacher comes back the next day. She goes, "Oh, I heard you guys had Wilson as a sub. Goes, you learn anything?" We go, "Yeah." She goes, "About geometry?" "No."
Yeah.
Dude,
not quite.
The only reason I passed to geometry was because COVID hit and everything went online.
Oh.
And I was one of the only people actually keeping up with the online homework. And she emailed me and a few other people. And she was like, "Thanks for actually doing the work. You're getting an automatic A."
Hey,
and I'm that was a one math. I had no idea what I was doing.
I could have used that. Geometry kicked my butt.
I got a 63 in geometry.
Oh my gosh. Every time I'd walk into class, I'm like, oh no, here we go.
I'm not gonna lie. The only reason I passed geometry is I may or may not have cheated on the finals.
Now I feel comfortable with some other people who struggle with geometry. Okay, now I don't feel like
we all three.
Yeah. All of us, all four of us here, was like just sweating it out on geometry.
Algebra 2 was the one that really got me.
Yeah, it's math in general. I'm not, of course the basics of math, but once you get super deep into it,
algebra,
I lose interest.
I had a substitute teacher, my freshman year, freshman algebra. Because the teacher quit a day before school started.
That's wild.
And so we had a long-term sub, and she didn't know anything about math
really
or anything like that. So the semester was really weird because we had a scheduled plan, but we didn't have anyone to properly teach it. So a few of us we wound up just talking to her after class, and a few of us got automatic A's.
Nice.
In that class, because she was the old cheer coach too, and so I was a cheerleader in high school.
Nice.
And so a few of us from the cheer team.
So you could be a wrestler too, man.
Well,
you got to be you got to be athletic.
Yeah,
you got to be athletic for cheer. I did powder puff in high school, which is where a group of the guys would do a cheerleading routine. So we did that, and it was. It's funny. That's actually around the time I started deciding, okay, I think I really want to be a pro wrestler. I don't think it had anything to do with the cheer, but just in general, that kind of timeline, because that was my senior year in high school. So we'd be doing cheer practice and everything, after school, and then I'd be joking around, trying to do drop kicks and RKOs and stuff like that. Which I have videos of them. I look back at them now, and they're absolutely awful, like really bad. And I was proud of them at the time. Like, oh yeah, I was like, oh yeah, I know I could be a wrestler for sure. Look at this drop kick that hit the guy in the stomach. You know what I mean? But so, yeah, doing those routines was super hard. Especially I believe the flyer is the correct term. The person who's held in the air.
Yep.
And then they get you up there, like, but
they do it so easily too.
Yeah, and they're holding you by your feet though, and I was so nervous because again I was really small at that time, so I had no choice. Yeah, and I was like, oh my, like it was a nerve-wracking thing, and like remembering the routine and everything. So like, yeah, cheer, mad props and mad respect to people who compete in cheer, especially competitively. You know, some people argue, oh, I don't know if it's a sport or not. It's a sport. Yeah, there's no arguing that. It's 100% a sport.
My freshman year, I watched one of the other flyers. A stunt went wrong in her group, and they fell. And when like they all piled on top of her, kind of, it was like a big pile. And then when they came off, her bone was sticking out.
Oh.
And they had to call the ambulance, and she was carted off. But I did not only high school cheer, but I also did professional all-star, like competitive cheer, where I would like travel around the Midwest.
I didn't know that.
Doing competitions.
I think I have a video of it right here, actually. So I used to have. There's a thing called Finsta accounts.
Finsta, yeah.
Yeah, where I have to pull it up. Here it is. It's slowly loading. Well, I would just post like a bunch of random stuff. You know, back when you had like just random. You know, accounts on Instagram. Here it is. Hopefully it loads. It's gonna look really bad. I know they can't see it on the camera because audio. Oh, it froze up. Hopefully it loads. Look at that. Yeah, that was terrible.
Yeah, I think he got.
And I hit him with an RKO afterwards. Oh. It was so yeah.
I didn't see the RKO. The drop kick. He wasn't joking. He hit him right above the kneecap.
Right, barely. Yeah, it was bad.
Man, I
know. The RKO looks a lot better.
That was October 7th of 2017. That's crazy. That's
7 years ago.
Yeah, that's wild. Just looking back on that.
The RKO looked much better than the drop kick.
Let's see it. He's showing me.
That's what our cafeteria looked like.
Yeah.
That wasn't the cafeteria, not the
gym. Man,
So I was selected.
I don't want to see it.
Man, you need to be wrestling, man. What's going on?
I was selected
I want to see this.
Me and one of the other girls on my team were selected for all conference.
No, that's him doing his routine.
I may have seen this one.
Man.
Have I seen this before?
I probably have shown you.
I need you to teach me how to do a few things.
It's that one right there of me doing
I've seen this one.
The double handspring to full standing.
Oh,
I wish they had the video. I don't know, but do you guys have like social media pages?
Yeah.
For the show? Maybe you guys can like post a video.
Yeah,
like,
we can post
drop it in there or something like that. That part, because you could.
We can post both those videos.
What's up when you want to start wrestling? Like, what's going on
here?
So
it's now a good time to tell
them. Great time to tell.
So right now I'm on a plan. I'm getting my weight up. And I started to look into it. I want to start training at the Forge.
Heck yeah, man!
Next year. So
hopefully they can
I
hear my
started
clap.
off.
Hopefully it's not too loud.
Press the button.
Destroy your guys' ears.
Oh, it's not on.
Is it the clap button? You guys got a clap button?
Have a clap button.
Kind of like iCarly. That's tight.
Oh, hell
This
yeah.
board is-
iCarly.
so
Love
fancy.
that show.
iCarly, yeah. You know, Kai Sinetti's a modern day.
We'll come back to that.
yeah.
Much, yeah.
We'll come back to the Nickelodeon stuff.
Which I stole that from somebody else. I'm not going to say like that's my, I called it my car.
No, we'll come back to the Nickelodeon stuff.
Most definitely.
So I started off the summer at 130.
Jesus.
Which is, I think I told you the story.
Yeah, but
it was a
that's a
bad year for me. So
what's your goal? Your goal weight?
My goal is right now I'm weighing in at 160.
You got enough there, baby. Good stuff.
My goal is by the end of December, I want to try to be 165 to 170.
Okay.
And then hopefully by the time that I start training and like doing things seriously, close to 190.
And that'll work for you. And again, bro, even at 170, 180, you're fine, because that's the good thing with wrestling nowadays. There's so many different shapes and sizes of people. Now,
Darby Allin's like 135.
Yeah, like so now back in the day, and like back in the day, not back in your day.
Okay.
back you know, yeah, even then, that's true.
Ryan?
But yeah, back in like the 90s, early 2000s, all the way up until, honestly, probably all the way up until like
Johnny Gargano.
Yeah, I'd want to say like probably like between 2013 and 2015, when like independent wrestlers really started, kind of like taking over and being, more known when they transitioned from their independent time to WWE or wherever, big company they decided to go to. Yeah, before then, like even I would have had a hard time making it, because you had to be like a certain height, and a certain weight. That's kind of how
you have to look like Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, that's kind of how they wanted it. And you got certain guys who didn't fit that mold. Like Eddie Guerrero's who were small. You know what I mean? Shawn Michaels. Who. Again, he's really not small, but for wrestling at that time, he was considered smaller.
Yeah, he's 6'2", isn't he?
Yeah, 6'1", 6'2", which that's not small, but at that time he was considered a smaller guy. Then you got your Rey Mysterio, who's of course he generational athlete, generational wrestler. So, but back then it was really harder for smaller guys to break into professional wrestling. But now again, there's all types of different shapes and body sizes. You got guys who look like Kevin Owens or guys who look like you got your Ricochet,
Orange
just
Cassidy.
bunch of different, just I'm naming just guys with different body types.
For me, two of the biggest guys who inspired me to get back in, because growing up, my day was 2007 to then, and so obviously a lot of the big talents were bigger.
Yeah,
guys. I think probably the smallest you had Rey Mysterio, obviously, which.
Ray doesn't count.
Yeah. That was a bad example.
You can't replicate Ray.
Nobody. There will never be.
If you could do what he could do, you're gonna make it regardless. Zack Sabre Jr. That's another one I meant to mention. Yeah, he's another one.
Probably the best in-ring worker
I mind blame.
Even currently, you got Dragon Lee, who I think is fantastic in the ring. Have you ever seen him do a hurricanrana, jumping over the top rope, do a hurricanrana?
I have not seen that.
He did it in his match with Dom Mysterio a few months ago. Dom Mysterio was on the apron, and he jumped over the top rope to give him a hurricanrana to the outside.
That was crazy.
That was insane. But for me, it was Ricochet and Kofi Kingston were two of the biggest guys. Watching Kofi Kingston win the belt, I was like, oh, so you can have because he's not a smaller guy, he's a skinnier guy.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm 6 foot. And I'm built very skinny. So I was like, okay, so you either have to be small underdog status or a big powerhouse. And then watching Kofi win the WWE championship, I was like, oh, never mind.
Which was amazing.
Somebody like me can go into this and be successful in
Most definitely. Especially nowadays, man. It's a great time. He
lost the belt immediately after to Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar, yeah.
You remember Brock Lesnar?
13 seconds.
Yeah.
But still,
it's crazy.
Having them letting him get the belt and just that whole push, Kofi Mania, as a push, I was there are people, who want to see this, and I saw back then the landscape is starting to change.
As long as you make those connections with the fans, that's the biggest thing. It's about making those connections, because once you have those fans, some of them will be fans for life. You know what I mean? And support you no matter what you're doing, no matter how you look. So, yeah, it's all about making that connection. And that's what he was able to do with Kofi Mania. He made a super, super special connection. You look at Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan wasn't the biggest guy. He wasn't the most ripped, athletic. He's a phenomenal wrestler, one of the best to ever do it.
He may be the best to ever do it.
But he also made that connection with the fans, with the Yes movement. Made that connection where it's no matter what this guy does, I'm going to support him. So that's the biggest thing. Once you make that connection with the fans, you're almost unstoppable. That's something they can't take away from you.
For me, when
Zack Ryder, same thing.
Yep. Because you look at these bigger companies, when certain guys that it might not be the plan for them, to be in a certain position, but the fans kind of hey, this is who we want, and they get behind that individual. And
Cody.
And once they get behind that individual, they just take off.
The fans derailed. The WrestleMania plan. I don't know if you got to watch the documentary that they made.
Yeah, I watched WrestleMania
40. They derailed the entire plan for WrestleMania just because they were so behind Cody.
Do you think that was actually going to happen? They were going to take Cody out of that and have Cody not wrestle at Mania after he won the Rumble?
To be honest, I have no clue, because I was very I didn't know what they were doing. I really didn't. I was watching it just play by play, just like everybody else. I couldn't even. I tried to, make my own assumptions of what may or may not happen, but I genuinely had no clue.
Well, they were going to have him wrestle at Mania. If you watch the documentary, the plan was originally going to be Punk versus Seth, and then right before the Rumble, when they decided Cody was going over, they changed. When he pointed at Roman, he was supposed to point at Seth.
Cody was.
Oh. When Cody won and he pointed to Roman, he was supposed to point at Seth. But so I guess something happened, and he said that it wouldn't make sense for his character at least from what I remember from the documentary, he said it wouldn't make sense. I've been chasing this belt, since I lost at Mania, and then for me to get the opportunity to go after it again, for me to just pivot, he says it wouldn't make sense, and he thought it would cheapen him.
And again, back to what he's saying, who knows what if everything they were saying in that documentary was baloney too?
Exactly,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
You never really know, but that's the beauty in it. That's the beauty in it.
Because that just made like WrestleMania like more special. I guess, or if it isn't true, it gives it the appearance of being more special.
Yeah.
Because then like the fans think that they had like that impact on WrestleMania.
And whether whatever the plans were, they still had an impact regardless. Because there's no denying that the fans always will have an impact. Like I said, with guys like Kofi or guys like Bryan Danielson, Daniel Bryan, whichever one you want to call him by. They always have that impact. They always have that say. When they get behind you, it's just it's hard. People are going to notice it. That stuff doesn't go unnoticed. You know what I'm saying? When you hit the curtain and the fans are going crazy for you, and then you look at social media and even Triple H has admitted that Paul Levesque, he admitted that that he goes through social media. He checks social media. He looks at what people say and things
Tony
like
Khan
that.
absolutely goes on Twitter.
Yeah, he tweets like every 2 seconds. So
people say he needs to put his phone.
Yeah. So those guys, that stuff doesn't go unnoticed as much as some people may think it does. That stuff, people pay attention to that type of stuff. So it it means the world for sure.
And one of the coolest things that they did back then, but like they're doing a lot more of it now, is like one of the biggest reasons why I want to go into the business is like the community outreach that they do.
Yeah.
And like a lot of stuff they do with Make-A-Wish.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Make-A-Wish is the best charity.
It is amazing. Shout out to John Cena, man, having the
I was about to say
most Make-A-Wishes
by
granted.
a lot.
Yeah.
It's by like
beautiful.
1,000.
That's beautiful. That's something I would love to do. I don't know if I would be able to beat his because he just has such a. He's far. Yeah, he's pretty far.
Doing them too.
He's pretty far ahead in the race. You know what I'm saying? But like that type of stuff, community outreach, that type of stuff is beautiful, man. Because again, that's what it's all about. At the end of the day, we're all human, so we're all trying to make it in life. We're all trying to do the best that we can. So sometimes people are put in less fortunate positions that we're in. So I feel like it's our duty to kind of help uplift them and help them out. You know what I'm saying? Make their day just a little bit better, you know what I'm saying? Even like, when I go to shows now, sometimes like a fan will come up and they'll be like, hey, I was having a bad day, came to this show, you know what I'm saying? You kind of made me feel a lot better. Stuff like that, that means more to me than anything else, you know what I'm saying, in wrestling. Those type of moments, those, again, that builds that special connection, because, once you do something or have that connection with somebody, they'll remember that for the rest of their life. How you made them feel on this day when they were, feeling a little bit down originally. But, they saw you and you put a smile on their face. You know what I'm saying? This type of stuff they'll never forget. So
and it's like, is the money like good? Like when you get to the more like top levels, like is the money like good? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really good. Is like the fan interactions and like them cheering your name good? Like, yeah, that's really good. But for me, like if I can grant even like one Make-A-Wish, or if I can do a fraction of what like John Cena has, then to me, like everything that I've already put into it and everything I will put into it, it will have all been worth it for me.
Yeah, that's real. That's real, 100%. That's real.
Because like I remember, and I'm sure like anybody who's a pro wrestling fan or is a pro wrestler remembers like them having bad days, and then watching wrestling, whether that be in person or on TV, you watching wrestling and then feeling better, or if not feeling better, forgetting about it. Forget about whatever got you down for just a minute.
That's the beauty in it. That's why there's really nothing like it, because you have that athletic aspect to it, so you can appreciate it in that aspect. But then you have that emotional connection to it. You know what I'm saying? And you just combine those two, like it's special. There's literally nothing like it. So I think that's why it's so popular. Because it makes you feel something at the end of the day. Whether it makes you angry because you're booing at somebody, or it makes you happy you're cheering for somebody, or it makes you sad because somebody's retiring, whatever it may be, you feel something, with that emotional connection to it. So yeah, it's amazing for sure.
Do you remember who the first wrestler you ever met was?
I believe it was, so I was really young when I met these 3 specific wrestlers. Randy Orton.
Man, everybody's met Randy.
Rey Mysterio. I know, St. Louis. Let's go.
I'm the only one that hasn't.
Randy
I got
Orton.
a fist bump from an NXT. That doesn't count.
No, that's tight.
No, it doesn't count.
That's tight. But Randy Orton, Rey Mysterio, and Kurt Angle. Those are 3 that I met at a very young age. I will circle back to the Kurt Angle one because I have a funny story.
The SmackDown 3.
Any podcast that I'm on, I always tell this story, but I'm going to circle back to that.
Okay.
So I met those three at a really young age. When I say a young age, I mean between the ages of 3 and 4.
Oh, wow.
No older than 4.
Did you know who they were?
Yeah. Because a lot of my fandom started with action figures.
Okay.
Where I was, of course I was watching wrestling, but like I wasn't necessarily retaining what I was watching.
Right.
I didn't start retaining what I was watching until like later on, like, when I was like, 9, 10 years old. And then as far as really appreciating like the sport aspect of it, I probably didn't get to that point. So probably like high school, honestly, when I started really appreciating what they do in the ring. But back to the action figure part. So yeah, that was a lot of my early fandom with professional wrestling. With my shout out to my big brother. He would always, buy me the action figures, and we play the video games. We'd play with the action figures. He's 8 years older than me. We'd always have that connection. And even with the action figures, like I treated my wrestling action figures like they were Sims characters. So one day I might be playing, yeah.
Oh, I
one
do.
day I might be playing wrestling with them. You know what I'm saying? John Cena and Rey Mysterio, they might be wrestlers. The next day I might be playing cops and robbers with them. The next day I might be playing superheroes and villains with them. The next, it just depends on whatever day. So like I would play a bunch of different scenarios. But so when I was younger, I met again those three: Rey Mysterio, Kurt Angle, and Randy Orton. So in what order is very hard to remember. And actually, I can pull up a picture right now of me and Rey Mysterio while I keep talking. But
was Moses the first one you met?
I
think
it might have been Ethan.
Ethan Price.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, big strong boy. Shout out
he's
to him.
awesome.
He is
his tag
awesome.
team partner.
Mm-hmm.
He was at one point.
You guys were tag champs.
Here's me. Here's a picture of me and Rey Mysterio right here. I know I didn't look really
little.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I know older than 3 or 4 for sure. I know I didn't look too enthused. I was just very shy. I was really shy. I'm still kind of shy now sometimes.
You don't seem like it. You seem like super comfortable right away.
So it's weird. I'm pretty good at masking it sometimes, but also it doesn't take me long to get comfortable.
Yeah.
Once they get comfortable around like a set of people, I probably annoy them. I talk, blah 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 all day long. But like getting into like sometimes like when people like will see them, like, hey, you always kind of look like kind of mad. Like, no, I'm not mad. I'm just kind of off in my own, you know what I'm saying, my own little world. But before I go off on a tangent with that, because I tend to do that, I'm gonna try to stick to.
I do too. Hey, ADHD, man.
Yeah, bro.
That's the name of this show.
Rattling it off.
We should have called this show "Jack Has ADHD."
That's kind of a cool name. I'm not gonna lie. That's low key a cool name. You could market it, bro. And you know. Because we've talked about so much already.
Like, we haven't even hit the surface on a lot of things.
In random order. So, again, before I go off somewhere else, I'm going to go back to the question. Because I was real close to going off on another. Really, really close. It's almost like an itch. Like, I want to talk about something else now. But, so, I met Randy Orton. It was the way I met him was different than the way I met Rey Mysterio and Kurt Angle. So, with Randy Orton, he's a St. Louis guy.
St. Charles?
Yep, St. Louis, St. Charles. But he lived out in St. Charles. So, I was born in St. Louis, but I was raised in St. Charles, which is like for those of you who don't know, St. Charles is like the suburbs of St. Louis. So, but it's called St. Charles, different name. So I was raised out there where Randy Orton lived for a long time. I think he still does live out in that area somewhere.
He lives. No, I don't. Yeah, never mind.
I don't know either.
No, I do know.
He's gonna come here and beat us all.
My dad did the countertops there.
But I met him in a mall the first time I met him. And this may have been before he won his first world championship. Like this was, and I need to go back and find this picture. I know it's somewhere in my house.
I think he won his first title in 2004.
Yeah, this might have been, and that was SummerSlam. This might have been before then. Like this was young Randy Orton, or around that time. Like he was really young at the time. Like he had kind of like spiked hair, would kind of went out straight. Yeah, so.
Pre-evolution.
Yeah.
That would have been like right after he debuted.
Me and
like
my
Bob Holly days.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my older brother had saw him in a mall, and I didn't recognize him off the bat. My older brother did, the one who really got me into wrestling, and he was like, "Hey, it's Randy Orton." Went and asked him for a picture. He took a picture with us. Super cool. So that's my first time meeting Randy Orton. Then I followed up to meet him like 5 times after that, because you just run into him at
everybody meets him.
I ran into him at Toys R Us, or I ran into him at the gas station, or just random random places.
My dad used to see him at the gym all the time.
Yeah, so just like a bunch of random spots. But so that's how I met him. But with Kurt Angle and Rey Mysterio, I met them at it was some like comic book shop over in St. Charles off Zunbelt, I do believe.
That's right down the street.
Yeah,
That's like right down the street.
Yeah.
Zunbelt's like one exit up the road.
So that's where I met them at because they were doing autograph signings when they were in town. It was 2 separate times. Still have my autographed Rey Mysterio action figure, and I do have the picture I just showed you guys. I have that, so that's pretty cool. I can't wait to. I wanted to post that picture, but I'm gonna wait until hopefully I face Dom. It'd be great to face Rey Mysterio. Hopefully I make it to the big leagues before he retires. You know what I'm saying? You never know.
He's still looking pretty good.
Yeah, but if not, eventually face Dom down the line and kind of post that picture. That'd be kind of cool. But so I met him, and now with Kurt Angle. Met Kurt Angle. I need to find the picture. I struggle to find the picture that I met Kurt Angle. I can't find that one with him and him and
he actually hates milk.
Really? That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
That was his whole thing with milk.
Yeah, the milk.
Do you know about this?
Drink.
No.
Oh, it's a long story. Kurt Angle was a milkman, basically.
He
He's an Olympic gold medalist that loved milk. And you know when he poured it in his mouth at the Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
He poured it directly on his face and his shirt. He didn't drink any of it.
That's kind of wild.
Anyway,
he doesn't like milk. It's kind of crazy. I did not know that.
Yeah, he did an Inside the Ropes interview.
So I had got an autographed Kurt Angle action figure. And this was around my birthday time. And it was amazing, the greatest thing. And then we went to Chuck E. Cheese afterwards. And I was like, I'm going to bring it inside with me. And my mom's like, no, leave it in the car. Don't bring it. I'm going to bring my action around. I want to bring it with me. I'm signing Kurt Angle action, blah, 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 blah. No, leave it in the car. I want to bring it with me. She's like, all right, whatever. Brought in the Chuck E. Cheese with me. Left Chuck E. Cheese. Kurt Angle did not leave with me.
Oh no.
Yeah, Kurt Angle did not leave with me. The action figure. So to this day, I still have to get and I think I remember the specific action figure it was because it was a Ruthless Aggression action figure. I think it was a 2-pack with him and Brock Lesnar, I do believe. So I'm going to try to get that specific action figure, and I'm going to try to get it signed by him. I don't know when. One of these days. I don't know when I'll run into him.
You'll run into him some point.
Yeah, especially because, he goes to indie shows sometimes.
Oh, yeah. He does conventions and stuff.
Yep, so.
He charges a lot.
Yeah, I'd imagine. I would, too, if I was
But he can.
Yeah, he can.
Otherwise, his line would be too long.
Generational athlete, once in a lifetime.
He's another guy can be considered the greatest ever.
Yeah, especially, the transition he made. And people don't realize, we're going to go off on a tangent here.
That's fine.
Long story short, yes, I lost my signed Kurt Angle action figure, which
I'm a collector. I'm a collector. Baseball cards. I love that. Hurts me to hear that.
And then it didn't hurt as bad. It's crazy. It didn't hurt as bad then as it hurts now.
Oh, I imagine.
Because I was upset because I was a kid. Of course, crying and everything. But I didn't understand the magnitude of it until now.
It's a $200 toy.
I remember finding a signed Kurt Angle action figure in Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh, you might. It was funny. I thought you were being legit for a second. So I was like, that's real convenient. I'm gonna have to have a talk after this.
Gabe has never been on the show before. He does the rock and wrestling with me. Gabe is the biggest troll I have ever met. In class the other day, he had a headset on, talking to us in the control room, and he's just started the pot from across the room.
That's wild.
So he pressed the button, and he goes, "Yeah, David, you can't dance."
Oh no!
Yeah, I was
and
telling
then he
our
comes
audio
out
guy he
running
couldn't
and
dance.
dances.
That's crazy. No, that right there. He's like, I remember you telling me you found it. That was incredible.
He's really good at that.
So with Kurt Angle, people don't realize the transition from being an amateur wrestler into professional wrestling is not always as smooth as you would think. Now, for him it was.
Unless you're Brock.
Yeah, him, Brock. For me, myself, and my tag partner too, Raheem De La Suede, we were both amateur wrestlers in high school. He actually did. I think he wrestled a little bit in college. I think Raheem did maybe a semester.
I could see
wrestling in the way. Yeah.
Amateur.
So yeah, him and I, we both have that amateur background. So the transition for us, it was. I don't want to say it was smooth, but as far as the grappling and learning a lot of the different holds and stuff like that, that transition was kind of smooth because there's a lot of similar techniques and basics to amateur wrestling and professional wrestling that kind of. That you can kind of combine and kind of makes the process a little easier. But it's not always easy. It's not always, especially with certain aspects, like amateur wrestling, you never like to be on your back at all. When you're in your back, you're in a position to be prone, to be pinned. So, and then you transition over to pro wrestling where, you fall on your back 24/7.
Right.
So, there's different aspects of it. But, Kurt Angle, he did it seamlessly. He did it so, he's, again, you consider him one of the greatest of all time. Arguably, if not the greatest of all time, because
especially 2007 TNA.
Man. Oh man, yeah. He
when he was on all kinds of drugs.
Yeah, he was insane. He was wild, but like he would do so many things that were like so impressive. So he's
he doesn't need to be jumping off the stage.
No. Every time I see that clip, I'm like, man.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. When he runs up the stage.
It's kind of funny.
You
know that exactly.
Do you know his nickname during that era?
Yeah, Perk Angle.
Yeah, Perk Angle.
Oh man, yeah, that's wild.
Have you never heard that before?
I might have once or twice.
He openly talked about it. He was taking so much Percocet. And just so
he was in pain, man, with his neck and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Because Vince never let him have time off.
That's those schedules. That is nice. Now I've heard that the schedules nowadays are a little more convenient. As far as
they get Thanksgiving off.
Yeah, which is nice. As far as the bigger company is concerned. So that's amazing because everybody needs rest. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't want to run your body into the ground, especially with something like professional wrestling where it's already taxing enough on your body. So you definitely want to be able to, kind of balance everything out.
That's how you get injured. That's how you retire early.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're John Cena.
Yeah, that guy.
He's built differently.
Tank.
He follows me on Twitter.
Same.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
He follows.
He follows a lot of people. So.
I don't think he runs that account.
Yeah, no. Full disclosure, guys, he follows probably like
900,000 people.
Yeah. A lot.
When I saw he followed me, I got really excited.
Yeah.
And then I clicked on it and I saw he follows almost 1 million people. And I was like, oh.
So it's funny, like, some people still don't know, like, that he follows a whole bunch of people. So, like, I was sending it to my friends, like, oh, John Cena followed me on Twitter.
That's what I did,
and
too.
They're like, oh, my God, sorry, John Cena followed you on Twitter. I was like, yeah. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, I know he followed a lot of people. So. It's still cool, though.
It draws...
I'll take it.
It gets people excited.
Yeah.
That's that thing you were talking about earlier.
You know what I mean?
Connection.
With the arm on the same. My bad,
yeah, it goes down. These chairs are goofy in here.
It was funny just like telling people that like, yeah, he followed me on Twitter, and they think like, oh man, you're about to make it big. It's like, no, John Cena's probably not going to DM me. But hey man,
right. I almost DM'd him.
Oh really?
See if he'd come on a podcast.
Oh, that would have been amazing if he responded.
He does them.
Yeah, he does.
He does Chris Van Vliet all the time.
I know we were talking about Kai Cenat earlier. He was on his thing.
He was.
Which is crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, he did. I've seen him on Chris a couple times. Mm-hmm. Chris Van Vliet, I interviewed him one time.
Mm-hmm. Really?
Yeah.
I think he follows me on Twitter too.
He is the nicest guy.
Yeah.
He is so cool.
Extremely professional.
He's amazing. I did a project on like a career I want. Mm-hmm. I sent him an email. I was like, hey, do you want to do this? Mm-hmm. And he's like, sure. We talked for 45 minutes.
Really?
I was just years before the podcast. Mm-hmm. This was 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, things work out.
That's amazing, man. I'd love to do an interview with him one day.
He does
seem like a genuinely, it's just a great person.
He is.
And again, he does fantastic work with his interviews. They're always entertaining. He's very professional. He carries himself well. So, shout out to Chris Van Vliet.
My goal
I have the Zoom file of our interview.
Really?
I will never post it anywhere.
Yeah.
It's a horrible, horrible interview on my part. Like, now I know how to interview.
Hey, man,
at the time, I didn't.
You think about it, bro. Like, there's nothing wrong with posting it. It shows progress. Sometimes.
Well, I told him it. I said in the beginning, I'll never post this. So I won't.
I'm sure there's matches of mine out there that are probably like, oh, I hope somebody doesn't see this. But you know what I'm saying? It's all part of the process. You know what I'm saying? There's good and bad and everything. This is learning. Everything's a learning experience. So that's kind of how you got to take things. Yeah.
Is Randy the only wrestler you've met before Moses?
Yeah.
Where'd you meet Randy?
He was... Okay, long story, but I'll make it short.
I just saw him 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Like, what?
And she didn't call me.
So, his daughter went to my old school that I went to for elementary and middle school. Okay. She was a few grades younger than me. But, my class was walking back in from recess at the end of the day. And imagine, Randy Orton.
Yeah. He's gigantic.
Massive,
huge.
dude.
He's not even bigger now.
He's 290.
Yeah. He's massive. But he's sitting in this, Will Kid cafeteria chair because school's about to be released. Mm-hmm. So all of us are walking by, and we're like, oh, my God, it's Randy Orton. Even kids that, didn't watch wrestling, we're like, that guy's not, a regular dad. Who is that?
That
guy's got to be somebody.
Yeah.
This was, 2010?
Yeah, so
This was bald Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Like psychopath Randy Orton.
Yeah.
So I was watching wrestling at that time, and for some reason it didn't really click that, his daughter goes to my school. So I pass him, and I'm like, oh, my God. I see him on TV all the time.
Yeah.
So I'm
This
talking.
was like when he was beating up the McMahons every week.
Yeah.
Oh, that was punting everybody in the head.
Yeah.
Like,
So
yeah.
we get to my classroom and everyone rushes to the paper tray, like grabbing paper, like, oh my God, we're getting his autograph. So we get out of school for the day. He's gone. We were like, oh, damn, where is he? So me and my friend, we were walking to our parents' cars to go leave for the day. And then we see him in the parking lot. And we were like, oh, we gotta go. We want to cross this parking lot with oncoming traffic.
Is this you and Abby?
No, this was me and someone else.
This sounds like a you and Abby story.
Oh, definitely, but it wasn't Abby. So we go running, and we were like, Mr. Orden, can you, like, sign this paper, please? And he's like, sure, what's your name? And he just, like, gave us his autograph.
You still have it?
Oh, yeah, I have it.
Framed somewhere?
It's not framed,
Should
but I still have it.
That's another picture you have to drop on the socials. This is the picture. Of the
yeah, like, I was a kid, so I was like,
We're
I
getting
have
all kinds of content today.
Yeah, I'm like, I have an autograph, but, like, I wasn't like, I'm huge into music, so I have, like, signed posters and bands of
Who are some of the most,
everything.
like, famous, most popular
She
bands?
goes to more concerts than anybody I've ever met.
I haven't actually met any of them, but I don't know if you listen to Alice Cooper.
I've heard of her.
Okay, his touring band now. I have his one. He has like 3 guitarists, so it's kind of complicated to keep track. But one of them's my favorite guitarist. People call her the female Eddie Van Halen, like insanely good. So I have a signed photo of her.
Who's that?
Nita Strauss.
Oh, she played Shinsuke's entrance at 34.
Oh, really?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And she did something with Evolution, too.
So back to Alice Cooper. I thought that was. I've heard the name.
You think of Allison James?
I didn't know it was a guy until now.
Oh, you didn't?
No, because when you said like Alice Cooper, I have heard the name Alice Cooper. So when you said that, I was like, yeah, I've heard of her. And then you were like, yeah. So I have some of his, and I was like,
so
it's like, let me clarify that. Like,
yeah, like a 70s band, but almost every year there's like new people in the touring band because they get old and then they retire, so they replace it with like a 30-something-year-old player.
That's how it is. Like the Temptations are still around right now, but like
Yeah, they are.
there's only one of them that's still alive. The original ones that's
The
still
Beach
alive.
Boys are still
Yeah.
around. Or Leonard Skinner.
None of Leonard Skinner is alive.
They're
Like-
still good, though.
Oh, I'm not saying they're
They're
bad.
just not Skinnered.
Yeah, none of them are original. And then
No Leonard or Skinnered.
yeah. Then I also have a signed poster from this band called The Burning. It's 3 sisters from Mexico. They sing in English and like perfect English. No accents at all when they do interviews. And I'm like, they're like born and raised in Mexico. That's interesting. They don't have accents at all. So I got
Some
signed
people are really
poster
good
of
at
them.
like. There's a lot of like actors from the UK
Yeah.
who do like perfect.
Like Tom
American
Holland is
accents.
one of them.
Yeah, and like you see him do an interview, and they're like, "Whoa!" Like, I
Yeah.
didn't know he was. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I think my most prized autograph. Are you a baseball fan?
I do enjoy baseball,
So
although the Cardinals
they're hard to watch. They're hard to watch.
Cardinals aren't doing too well right now.
So I'm a big card guy. Guy. My grandma buys me a pack of cards for Christmas. We're at the
Nice.
baseball card store off Manchester Road. We were there for like 3 hours. I couldn't decide what I wanted. I was
Sheesh.
14, 15 maybe.
Uh-huh.
And this is when the Cubs were really good. And remember Chris Bryant?
Yeah.
He was the next big thing.
This is around the time they won the
Yeah,
World Series.
it was the year he won the MVP.
Okay.
He was a rookie this year. And I open up a pack, and the guy at the store is a huge Cubs fan. He goes, "You're probably going to get Bryant or something." I open up the pack for Christmas. There's a Chris Bryant rookie card autographed, numbered to 150.
Oh,
It was valued at like $400.
sheesh.
And I was shaking. I couldn't believe it. It was a redemption card. Have you ever seen those where you got to scratch the code and then you send a
I don't
picture?
think I've seen that. No.
Yeah, it was a redemption card, and
tight.
I got the autograph, and that card was like my prized possession. And then I opened, like a month or two later, I opened another pack at the store. There's another Chris Bryant rookie card autograph in it. So I got 2 Bryant
He
rookies.
played the lottery with this guy,
Right?
Yeah.
I had insane card luck. They had these free packs like they gave out for spring training. I got an autograph in that. The odds were 1 in, I think, 600,000
It's insane.
to get an autograph.
I have a signed Stan Musial jersey.
That's awesome.
That's sick.
That is really
Yeah.
cool.
I have a Alex Pietrangelo signed Puck after they won the Stanley Cup.
Okay.
Only for him to get traded.
He left
the same season after.
I feel kind of left out. I don't have any cool sports.
Well, I didn't even get to the cool one yet.
Sports. Oh, well, pardon me. My bad.
So, I go to the card store, and the guy's name, Tom and Wally, they're great people. It's Wally's store. Tom works there. Tom's a great guy. There's an Albert autograph. Albert Pujols, numbered to 9, 2005 MVP Upper Deck.
Oh, man.
And it was $350. And I looked at the guy and said, I'll give you my Bryant for it. Like, straight up. I was talking out my ass. Like, I was like, there's no way he'll trade this. His eyes pop open. And I was like, okay, let's do this. And I go home, come back the next week with the card. My Bryant, number to 150, who now he's a bum. Bryant's terrible. Am I wrong?
I haven't kept up.
I don't even know where he's at now.
I haven't kept up.
I think he's in Colorado.
With how he's done here recently. I know after
he's been hurt. And he hasn't been good since like 2018.
And those injuries, man, in sports,
they mess you up.
It can happen quick too. The fall.
Remember Alan Craig?
Yeah.
What happened to him?
It's crazy. Like fall offs happen really quick in sports, and people don't realize it. Like a guy can be good this year, and then the following year he's not as good. People, what happened? Like it can fall off, especially like sports like football. I love football. Like especially in certain positions like running backs, you can be really good. One of my favorites of all time, Ty Gurley.
Oh yeah.
Like you would have thought that last season.
You're not still a Rams fan, are you?
No, the Rams. Oh man, that's a whole nother.
We are an anti-Stan Kroenke show,
bro. We're trying to stay on topic here. You want to go out. You want to go off the rails.
I do want to talk about football after this.
You want to go off the rails. So
that's my thing. I'm really good at that.
I was a huge Rams fan when they were in St. Louis. Like huge Rams fan. I actually went to and I've never went to any of the games until the last season they were here.
Oh yeah.
I went to the game against it was the Rams against the Bears. In this particular game, Ty Gurley hurdled over a Bears player, and that specific photo made the cover of Sports Illustrated. So it was super cool. Like I was there for that game. Man, I love the Rams. I'm getting kind of sad thinking about it now. No, but yeah. So that year, you would have thought Ty Gurley was going to be the next biggest thing. And then like from then on, his career just went injuries and things like that, and it just kind of derailed his career. But back to the Rams leaving. I think this was my
heartbreaking
freshman year of high school.
Yeah, I think I was in.
I remember like that night. It was right after wrestling practice, I do believe, my amateur wrestling practice at Howe. And I went home and like they're doing the voting.
It came was the same night Obama gave State of the Union.
Yeah, and it was like
I remember it vividly.
Yeah, and it passed. The vote passed for the Rams to leave. And I was heartbroken, bro. Like, I ripped up all my Rams posters off my wall. Like, I was hot, man. Because, like, that's unfortunate, man. Again, we talk about, like, emotional connections. Like, cities build emotional connections to players and teams and stuff like that. So, like, teams being relocated is kind of like, it's a wild thing to me. Like, when I sat back and thought about it a couple weeks ago, because the thing with with Oakland.
Yeah.
The Athletics leaving.
That's horrible.
They lost the Raiders, 4 years ago? A
couple years ago.
And now they're losing, their baseball team, the Athletics. Like, bro, imagine being an Oakland sports fan. Like, I'd be devastated. Like, I just lost my baseball team, or I lost my football team and my baseball team. Like,
I would hate the world.
And then really, they lost the Golden State Warriors too, because I do believe the Golden State Warriors
in San Francisco.
Yeah,
now.
Their stadium.
It's right down the street.
Yeah, technically, but still, like as far as like just being in the heart of the city, so it's like, man, like they're losing, So I feel like it should be much harder for like franchises to relocate. Now, back in the day, they were relocating like all over the place because
middle of the night.
Yeah, like
the Browns did to the Baltimore.
Yeah, and then like we used to have two Cardinals teams. You had the football Cardinals and the baseball.
They were
Cardinals.
good too.
Yeah, and then we lost them. St. Louis actually, we used to have the Atlanta Hawks, the basketball team. We used to have them. They won a championship here.
Bill Russell was drafted by the St. Louis Hawks.
Really?
And they traded him for Ed McCauley, who's a Hall of Famer. Mm-hmm. But Bill Russell is Bill Russell.
Yeah, 11 times. You know what I'm saying?
Arguably the greatest center of all time.
And it's like, even now, which is kind of cool, at the Hawks Arena, they still have like a St. Louis banner hanging up.
They should.
In St. Louis. It's kind of sick. I don't know if they do that out in L.A., where the Rams play. I don't know.
I doubt it.
Yeah, probably
Kroenke wants no association with St. Louis.
Yeah, no. It's crazy because he's from Missouri.
Is he?
Yep. You didn't know that? Yeah.
No, I didn't.
He's from Missouri.
No, I tried to know as little about that guy as possible.
Yeah.
I hate that guy.
He's from here. So
I hate that guy more than CM Punk.
Oh, you don't like CM
I
Punk?
hate CM Punk.
Oh, no.
I'm a Hangman guy.
Okay, I talked about this and he roasted me. CM Punk was like one of my favorites back when I watched it.
He's amazing, man.
That like 2011 John Cena feud.
See, I didn't see it.
Yeah.
He's another one who the crowd got super behind.
Why?
You know what I'm saying?
He's whiny.
He's good.
He's a crybaby.
He's good. He's good on the mic. He's good in the
5.
ring.
He's my top 5 on the mic.
He's amazing.
I don't know.
He's amazing, bro.
That hurts me to say that.
He's amazing. CM Punk's amazing. I give CM Punk all the credit in the world. He's amazing. But
you know what though? He did make me sort of a fan with his promo against Eddie Kingston at Shafix on Rampage. It's like, okay, this guy maybe is legit, but Eddie ripped him a new one.
He's legit, bro. He's great. He's every aspect, and he's a student of the game too. Like I wish hopefully one day get the chance to really like sit down and talk to him and learn from him because he knows a lot. He actually spent a lengthy amount of time at the Harley Race Wrestling Academy.
Oh yeah,
yeah. He was there training for a while. Just sharpening up his skills. So yeah, he's somebody I'd love to pick his brain. But man, we just went from baseball cards.
I never even finished the baseball card story.
Yeah. I was thinking that was in the back of my mind.
I made the trade. I traded the Bryant card for the Albert card, and it's my prized possession.
Really? Hey, there's another picture.
So, say when you make it to WWE.
Yeah, that's how I speak.
That's a great way to put it.
I never say like if or hopefully. I say when. You know what I'm saying? That's what I believe. That's my mindset. It's never going to change.
You got to manifest it.
You got to manifest. You got to picture it.
Most definitely.
So when you make it to WWE, what is like your dream there? What's like when you get to WWE before you retire? What's one thing that like you want to do?
And I'm going to piggyback on that. Do you want to be a singles star, or do you want to beat you and Raheem as a top tag team?
Whatever it takes to get there. Do
you think you're a tag team guy?
I'm both, and it's
not to derail from that, but it's kind of add into that.
So it's kind of like it's an interesting dynamic. We do a decent amount of tag team and we do a decent amount of singles. Sometimes there'll be like stretches to where we're doing more singles than tag. And then there's also been stretches to where we do more tag than singles. But I think the thing that makes us, really good is we're able to do both, like simultaneously. You know what I'm saying? We could do a singles tonight, and tomorrow do tag team for the next week, next 2 weeks, and after that do singles for the next month. It's never like we never lose a beat with either or. So I think that's, the really cool thing about it. But as far as like what I want to do in WWE, ultimately, what everybody wants to do. They want to compete at WrestleMania. You know what I'm saying? They want to win championships. They want to be action figures. They want to be in the video game. You know what I'm saying? Like that type of stuff. But most importantly, just be somebody that people can look up to. We back to making those like emotional connections. You know what I'm saying? That's the biggest thing. And WWE gives you the biggest platform to be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? And then you have AEW too, which is really up there too. They're great. And then, you have Impact and you have New Japan. There's so many great promotions out there to really make a name for yourself. Yeah, to make a name for yourself and really have an impact on people in general. So that's just the biggest goal. Is just have an impact wherever I go. Just have an impact on people's lives.
For me, one of my biggest dreams, like career-wise, is to be a part of a retirement match.
Oh,
I want to retire a wrestler.
That's cool. Really specific.
That's cool.
Like I don't know why, but I think that like that'd be so cool.
You want to retire? John Cena, maybe.
I think
retirement tour coming up soon.
I think it'd be really cool.
He doesn't tell us about it. We're just watching John Cena's last match, and all of a sudden, it's like,
oh, me.
He didn't tell us anything, bro. Like,
I think it'd be really cool to possibly retire Randy Orton in St. Louis.
Randy's not going anywhere anytime soon.
No, nowhere soon. And that's what I'm saying. It gives me a little bit of time to get up there. Rey Mysterio, I think, would be cool, but I think Dom's going to be his retirement match.
Absolutely.
Who's another one? The
That's
Rock.
That's oddly specific goal. I've never heard that one.
I think that's cool though.
I like it though.
I don't know why. I've never heard like anyone talk about like wanting to be a part of a retirement match.
Neither.
I think because just like the
somebody
pressure.
wanted to retire Goldberg. It may have been like Matt Riddle or something. It was probably Matt Riddle.
I know Gunther probably wants to now.
Which did you
Goldberg's
see?
coming back.
He's coming back April, I believe.
I know they did
He's
the
having
thing
his
with
retirement match.
at Bad Blood. I believe it was him and Gunther had an interaction.
Yeah, because Gunther
Gunther's
had
gonna
his
obliterate
interaction.
him.
Oh my goodness.
He had the thing with Bret Hart a few weeks ago.
Yep.
But yeah, I think it'd be really cool to do a retirement match, and like do like a good retirement match.
Yeah.
But I also think that's why no one like talks about it, just because like the pressure of like retiring,
A lot of times
especially
they're
a
not great,
legend.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just depends
did
on
you
how
watch
long
Flair's
you choose to
retirement
do
match?
it. It just depends.
Did you watch Flair's retirement match?
Oh, the one where he wrestled
Andrade.
Yeah,
It's horrible.
I watched a little bit of it. I'd
I
have to go
paid
back
money
and
to
watch
watch
it again.
it. It was
Did
the
you?
worst money I've ever spent,
But then you have like Sting's retirement match,
which was awesome.
which was great.
That's the great. That's better than. I don't want to say it's better than Shawn Taker, but it's up there.
And actually,
In my opinion, I enjoyed that match more than Shawn Taker.
when I first dedicated myself to like getting my weight up, and I was like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be a professional wrestler. My goal was to retire Bray Wyatt.
Oh,
I wanted to retire him.
Okay. That's beautiful.
Just because the creative side
R.I.P.
was
Bray
like,
Wyatt. Yeah.
all right,
amazing.
rest in peace.
Amazing.
Like his creative mind, I was like, this is something like that I can really get behind, and like especially now the way that like the industry's moving, like they're letting the wrestlers have more creative control, like over their, whatever you want to call it, over
Characters,
themselves,
personas,
their
yeah.
characters. Some call them gimmicks. And so I was like, this is like really cool, and I think this is something that I think it's a big reason why you see like the industry is like booming now.
It is.
Like over the past few years, like you just saw like a huge increase.
There's a lot of like cross promotional stuff going on too.
I love
Like,
that.
You got like it's so
Do you
cool.
believe?
I do. Joe Hendry.
Yeah.
But that, and then even like now you got like them doing stuff with like music stars too. Like this thing I saw the video the other day.
Jelly
of,
Roll was there.
Yeah, I saw Triple H just brought a custom hardcore championship to a Travis Scott concert and gave it to him. Travis Scott.
Oh.
So Travis Scott's gonna be performing.
I don't really know who that is.
I think.
The
you know who
premiere.
Travis Scott is? What?
I have no idea.
Travis Scott. Fiend.
He's a rapper.
Oh, I don't.
You know Travis.
Okay,
I
do you know Kylie Jenner?
Yeah.
He was dating Kylie Jenner.
I thought she was dating Travis Barker.
That's Kourtney Kardashian.
Can't
I
keep
watch
straight.
his.
You know Travis Scott. If you
I don't
pull up,
listen to rap at all.
I get.
Like,
But you
do
should,
not
he's
like rap
somebody
music.
that like you would still know, because he's really more than just rap. Honestly, like he's like a just he's just a popular public figure. Like if you looked up a picture of him right now, I guarantee you, like, oh, okay, I know him.
He had a whole McDonald's meal.
And you could also prove me wrong right now by looking up, like, yeah, I don't know him.
That's-
And I'm like,
That's very possible. I list off. We played a game a while ago where I just showed him a photo of a celebrity,
I've never seen this guy in my
and he
life.
didn't know them.
really?
I have no idea who this guy is.
There's no way. Show me the picture. Let me make sure it's him. That's not him. No, I'm just kidding. That's him.
I've never seen this man in my life.
That's wild.
They confirmed he's going to be at the premiere of
Yep.
Raw on
Oh,
Netflix.
boy.
Netflix. So I know.
Sorry.
I'm into every single genre. I love all genres of music. Rap, R&B, gospel, country music. Yeah,
You're a country
rock.
guy.
Like I listen to all of. Like if
Okay.
I play like my playlist, I can tell you how long. My like main playlist is super long.
I don't even have a playlist.
Like it's really long. Like it's.
That's the
It's
one
obnoxious
genre I
long.
can't really get into is country.
Oh, I love country. We went to a country bar down the street the other night called Honky Tonk. Oh, I was having a great time. I knew all the music. It was great.
You were also.
It would take you.
tipsy,
It would
I
take
was
you.
drunk. I wasn't tipsy. I was drunk.
It would take you 86 hours and 40 minutes.
God.
Oh my god!
1,291 songs.
I can't even name it. I don't think
Like
I can name 100
it's
songs.
it's long, and you're gonna find every genre in there.
What's your favorite country song?
Oh man, well let me pull up my country playlist.
Would you say
You got and there's a bunch. Probably, man, that's kind of hard. I don't like the favorites questions because like now you have to pick one specific thing.
I got one on top of my head. Favorite country song ever.
I might say out of this specific playlist, probably Dirt Road Anthem.
I don't know that one.
Oh, you know it.
Who sings it?
Chilling on the dirt road, late night swerving like I'm George Jones.
Maybe who sings it?
You know that one? It is.
If it's new country, I don't know it.
not Brett Eldridge. I'm sorry, I was wrong. It is Jason Aldean.
Okay, I like Jason Aldean. Yeah, I don't know that one.
You don't know that song?
No.
I think that's like a popular one.
If I heard it, I'd probably know. I don't know names, though. She'll vouch for this. I don't know.
yeah, he doesn't.
But then you'll play the song and like, oh, yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
Friends in Low Places is the greatest song ever written.
Okay.
In my mind.
I have to listen to that one, yeah. Now, I'm not so deep in the country that I can name, like if you say, like, oh, like, you see I had to pick up, pick my playlist.
You'll know
like,
Friends in Low Places.
Yeah, I had, like,
Garth?
pull up my Garth Brooks.
Yeah.
Okay, I do that. So I know a lot of their names, but, like, sometimes, like, the song names, like, I'll forget it, or, like, the specific artist.
The band at Honky Tonk played it around 9 o'clock. The entire bar sang it.
Really?
It was awesome.
Yeah.
And that's, like, that. It's the best sing-along song ever.
So that's a big thing. And so in wrestling, there's a lot of long car rides sometimes. Mm-hmm. My longest one has been from here to. Anybody want to take any guesses? I'll give you all one guess.
I looked at your cage match profile today, too.
So don't cheat.
No, I don't remember.
Hours.
You don't even have to say that. Just a location from St. Louis to.
From St. Louis to.
And some of the locations you say might be longer than what the actual trip was, but it was still a long trip.
Nashville.
I don't know how far you guys travel. I was gonna say Denver.
I'm thinking Florida.
Winnipeg.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Canada.
Were you on the same card that Warhorse went up there on?
Mm-hmm. I went up there. Yep, we've been on the same card.
And you did something with Bret Hart?
Winnipeg. So, no, I was supposed... Oh, man, that's a crazy story. I'm going to tell that story off air. That's a crazy story.
I'm shocked I know about that.
I was supposed to. We'll tell that. Yeah, that one. Oh, that story. But, Winnipeg.
Make sure we don't forget that.
Which is between, like... I do believe it was between 14 and 17 hours, depending on how...
You drove to Winnipeg?
Yeah, depending on how the... let's look it up right now.
Who were you?
I like to be 100% correct when I say things.
Who were you in the car with?
Me, Raheem, Tootie Lynn Ramsey.
Tootie's awesome.
Yeah, she's amazing wrestler.
Mickey James told me that girl's got potential. Mickey had big stock in her after Empower a couple years ago.
So from here, like right now, it would be 15 hours.
Jesus.
15 hours and 5 minutes. But that's if the weather's good.
Who did most of the driving?
It just depends. It's different each time. I like to, when I'm behind the wheel, like if I get comfortable, I'm chilling. Like I've driven the whole way there before. Yeah.
To Winnipeg?
Yeah. I'm sorry, the whole way back.
Jesus.
One other guy drove there, and I kind of like, I make everything a competition. Kind of, it might be like a bad like personality trait of mine. Like me and my brother, even still, like he's 20 years old. Like we'll still like do a thing where like he'll jokingly like hit me like that, and like I do it back, and then we'll just do it back. Yeah, and then like
I hate that. My brother does it.
He'll try to run up the steps, and like and then we'll like throw stuff. It's like I'm 24. Why am I? You know what I mean? Like why am I doing this? But I'm just, everything's like a game to me. So
I think that's just a brother thing, though.
Yeah,
I do that with my brothers.
Everything's just competitive to me. So like
my brother,
when he drove the whole way there, I'm like, this guy, he wants to drive all the way. All right, I'm driving back. Whatever. Like I'm gonna prove him that I can. You know what I'm saying? Nobody cares. Who cares? You know what I'm saying? Like. We're just trying to make it back safe. It doesn't matter who's driving. But I was like, all right, he drove the whole way there. I want to say I drove the whole way back. So the other people who were in the car, luckily, didn't have to get behind the wheel at all. Which I'm sure
the whole time.
Yeah, I'm sure they had no problems with that. But I'm kind of like, all right, sometimes you get tired. But like, oh, you got to lock back in. But so this particular time, we ran into a lot of weather issues because
I can imagine.
The snow and stuff like that. And then sometimes, crossing the border. Sometimes like they'll be kind of like harsh with their questions. They're like, "Oh, who are you here with? Why are you here? How do you guys know each other? Why are you guys in a rental car?" Blah, 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 blah. Like a whole list of questions. Sometimes that process can take a while. So I think
that's just a safety thing, more or less, isn't it?
So like the last time with like the amount of stops we had to do because of the weather and things of that nature, I think it took like probably 24 hours total.
Jeez.
Yeah, after like with all the stop, because pull over, there's so much snow that you can't see, and so you got to pull over, and you got to just it was, So that's the longest trip I've done. But back to what I was really saying with that is, you listen to a lot of music. You know what I mean? When you're taking those long car rides, so that's why that's one of the things that you
can play 10% of your 86 hours.
Yeah. So you're listening to a lot of music, so. It's just different, put that thing on shuffle and just, wrong song. I don't feel like listening to this song. Play the next one. Okay, I want to listen to this one. So yeah, that's why like probably honestly like music probably became a just like a bigger thing in my life the older I got. Honestly, because when I was younger, like I liked songs, but like I liked all like the whatever was current, whatever was popular at that time. You know what I'm saying? But like, so I didn't like when I was younger. You probably would never catch me listening to country because I just wasn't. Again, I was listening to whatever was popular. As I got older,
You grew up in St. Charles and you weren't a country guy?
I was not. I know. I went to a friend's house. Kind of crazy, right?
Right.
But
I wasn't country either.
Which like 75% of that school is.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, that's a hick school, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a
that's
lot
like
of
Eureka.
it's because of country school, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a mixed bag. You got some country because with Francis Howell, back to Francis Howell, I feel like it's kind of split. You got some people who live out in that area, like New Melly and back, in the woods. But then you have a lot of kids like me who live like out in, St. Peter's more specifically. You know what I'm saying? So like, more suburban type areas. So, we're more like, the cultures were just kind of, they were the same, but like slight differences with that, which is crazy because I feel like there were some schools, like Francis Howell Central was closer. I feel like it was closer to me than Francis Howell was, but like the way they have the boundary set up is weird. Especially out here. Yeah.
There's a neighborhood. I don't know if you know the Eureka Wildwood area at all.
A little bit.
You know Lafayette High School?
Yes, I do. Yes. Yeah.
Do you know the Wildwood area where like the movie theater is over there?
Mm-hmm.
If you live by the movie theater, like in the Cherry Hills area, what the neighborhood's called, you go to Eureka.
Mm-hmm.
It's 4 minutes away from Lafayette.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's 15 from Eureka.
It's crazy.
And you go there. But if you live one neighborhood over, like there's a neighborhood called Nantucket, that goes to Eureka. But if you live in the next neighborhood, Nantucket you can walk to Lafayette, and they send you to Eureka.
Yeah, that's literally how it is.
Sense.
With like Friends House Central, it's like probably like 5 minutes from my house.
If you live in the next neighborhood, they don't even send you a bus to Lafayette because it's so close.
Yeah, because
it's right there.
I don't know how they decided, but I like Friends House, so I'm not complaining.
Yeah. Well, it's weird because my grandma, her side of the street is Francis Howell. The people across from her are Zoomal.
Same neighborhood?
Yeah, same
what's
same
Zoomal?
street. I was in O'Fallon, so I was kind of like in the middle.
Yeah.
But my grandma lives like 2 minutes away from me, if that. But like her side of the street, Francis Howell. Other side, Zoomal.
Yeah,
That's
weird.
crazy.
I never questioned it because like then you got your high school rivalries, so I was already locked in. I was blue and gold all the way. Friends Howell, let's go. I don't want to go to Howell Central.
Lafayette.
Yeah, I don't want to go to Howell. So it's like, but like growing up and maturing, it's like Howell Central was 5 minutes from my house. Friends Howell was probably like 14. Like where I was at, you know what I mean?
Sense.
Yeah, but again, not complaining because Friends Howell was a great school, especially with sports and everything.
Yeah.
So academically too. Honestly,
You guys play Eureka a lot?
We did a few times with football. I know you might know. Did you graduated when again?
2020, but I know people.
You might know like the Hagen twins.
Yeah.
I
know of them.
Yeah, they were
wrestlers.
Yeah,
they were really good wrestlers.
They were. So yeah,
I don't know them. I know the name.
I knew them. Yeah, I mean I didn't know them either.
There
but
was
like,
another Hagen that was a teacher.
Really?
Yeah.
Are they related to the?
I don't know. I never asked. But we had Hassan Haskins.
Yeah. Oh, bro. I have a crazy Hassan Haskins story.
Oh, yeah?
So we played.
What a small world, right?
We played.
I never knew the guy. I had gym class with him, but I never talked to him.
I think he's in the league right now. I do
he's
believe.
on Chargers. He just scored his first touchdown.
That's so awesome, man. Congrats to him. I don't know him personally, but shout out. I'm always, I always support the hometown people. You know what I'm saying? Like even like with like music, like Sexy Red. Also just because she's hometown. She's hometown, so I'm going to support her. I got to. Nelly.
I hate Sexy Red.
Nelly. I got to support her. Got to show
Nelly.
love.
I hate. She was at NXT.
She was. Yeah.
I booed her.
Did you? Oh no, we love Sexy,
hey,
man. Gotta show love.
When Ethan came out, I don't know if it was loud enough or not, but I tried to start a "Thank You, Ethan" chant.
Oh man!
If you heard that, that was me.
I don't know if I did. That was kind of wild. I don't know if I heard it or not. But
Also, at that same show, Stacks was standing right in front of me.
Oh, was
I couldn't see, and I go, "Hey, Stacks, I can't see!" And then like 20 people around me started laughing. So I don't know. I don't. No, he didn't. I think he made it worse. But anyway, what's your Hassan story? Because I got a Hassan story too.
Howell was playing Eureka basketball. I think this might have been the district championship.
He was really good at basketball too.
And somebody threw a lob to him, and he like went in the air and just like dunked it like viciously like two-hand, like, off the lob. You know, a lob is like when, whoever somebody like, toss the ball up in the air, and then the guy on the same team, alley-oop, will catch it and then slam it. And we were like our student section was kind of like quiet. We were like, yo, did we just like see this dude like do some like LeBron type stuff?
He
like,
was insane.
Yeah, it was insane. Like we couldn't even like fathom that. Like it was, that was
One year,
amazing.
He was an All-American football player.
Mm-hmm.
He was an all.
So he played in Michigan, I do believe.
Yeah, he set the rushing record in Michigan, and he scored 5 touchdowns in the playoffs against Ohio State.
Yeah, he was
insane. He never really got the chance in the league yet, but he's got time. He's only
even still making it there.
He's only 24. I mean? He's your age.
Yeah.
He was an all-district basketball player, I think, and then he set the state high jump record.
I believe it. After seeing that alley-oop,
6'6".
It makes sense. After seeing that alley-oop.
And I had gym class with him. He was in the other gym class, and he would come and hang out with my class a lot. Mm-hmm. That gym class was insanely athletic, and then there was me. We got an Olympic swimmer, a borderline Olympic swimmer, an NFL player, a D1 soccer player, a D1 volleyball player, a state champion diver. Mm-hmm. Like we had all these athletes, and then me. And I was 5'9" and 114 pounds, little skinny kid. And I'm not athletic at all. That's why I'm behind a microphone.
No, man. Stuff. Hey, you never know.
Well, we're in gym class playing touch football or something. Mm-hmm. And the one time they threw me the ball, they never threw me the ball. Mm-hmm. I catch the ball, and I turn around to run, and there's Hassan. I just stopped.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm not even going to try it out right now.
Yeah, he was that dude. When I saw him hit that, when they lobbed the ball up and he slammed it, I was like, dude, what? Like,
he was incredible. He's the best athlete I've ever seen live.
Yeah, he's impressive.
There was a game against either Fox or Holt or something, one of the terrible schools out in the country. Mm-hmm. And it was in the playoffs. They won this game like 70-0. He zigzagged from the 5-yard line all the way down, had the entire Holt defense chasing him. Nobody even touched him. He zigzagged 97 yards and scored. It was insane.
Like the levels, when you're in high school, like the people who are really good
are really freaking good.
Really good. And like you know it. Like you know these guys are gonna like back like even like when I would watch like Jason Tatum's high school highlights, and it was hard even trying to get to his games because like they were always sold out.
And Chaminade too.
Yeah, like those games were selling out like that because people knew like this kid's gonna be a star. So like again, shout out to him, St. Louis guy, but like
big Tatum fan.
When you're watching sports, especially in high school, like those guys who are really good, they just stand out. Even in like wrestling, amateur wrestling, I was decent at it. But, like there were some people who were like next level. You know what I'm saying? And then like they were really good, and then they would go to college, and then they would get destroyed. So like there's just in each like sport, there's like levels to it. Like you got good, you got like great, and then you got like he's just in his own league. Yeah. And that's how a lot of those guys were. Like to make it to the top places like NBA, NFL, MLB, you got to be the next level. Prince Howell, has a really good baseball program.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of MLB.
Didn't Mark Burley go there? Or he go to Fort Zumwalt?
No, I don't think he went to Howell, but we had
was it Scherzer?
We had a few guys. I think Scherzer.
The St. Charles area is all the same to me. I don't know.
I know we have had a few guys to make it to be in the MLB. And then you got Coach Perkins. He's I believe he's still the head baseball coach there. I'm not sure.
I know Sissel. Mm-hmm. He was supposed to go into the MLB, and then he had a really bad ankle injury, and that was the sole reason he couldn't go to the MLB.
Him too. Coach Sissel. I remember Coach Sissel. His son. So. Yeah, Howell has a very storied baseball program. There's phenomenal baseball athletes coming out of there. So, yeah. But again, when you're in high school, like you just see those guys and you're like, yeah, this guy, he's next level. Hassan was one of those guys. When I saw him do that,
Hassan was just
when he dunked that ball like that, when they like threw the lob to him, and I was like yeah,
he was doing that in gym class, just screwing around.
Yeah, it's insane.
He was doing backflips in gym class all the time, and like. Not the, most backflips are just normal flips. He was doing the high ones where he's jumping 4 feet up in the air.
It's insane.
And he'd do it like it's nothing. And him and his other guy, his name was Jack Dolan. Jack Dolan was...
That name sounds familiar.
He was going to Olympic trials for swimming.
That name sounds really familiar.
And he would go to like all over the country, and he'd come back, he's like, "You win?" He goes, "Yeah, I won." Like usually when you go to this stuff, you don't win.
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, I won."
Yeah.
And he swims at Arizona.
Really?
Michael Phelps' coach apparently gave him a tour, and that's why he went there.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
there was another guy. He was a center on the football team. I've known him my whole life. Haven't seen him in 6 or 7 years. Mm-hmm. But he was a center for Arizona.
Really?
Which was weird because he was a really good guard or a tackle. He was an awful center in high school.
Yeah.
But he's playing college center. So
it's weird, man. Sometimes people transition.
I guess
like
he learned how to do it.
You got people who like played one position in high school and then played another, in college and the NFL. They're playing, you know what I'm saying? Like there's guys that might have started off as a running back, transitioned to a quarterback, and now they're like the best quarterback in the world. You know what I mean? So it's kind of crazy how that works sometimes. But yeah, again, when you're in high school, you can put those guys, those like super high level athletes, you can put them in any position. So that's probably why. When they get to college.
Hassan was an all-American linebacker too.
Yeah, exactly. So you know what I'm saying? That's probably why they can put put them anywhere in high school, and then when they get to college,
guy out on the field one time.
I believe it.
Yeah, you saw how much power he had.
Yeah, without a doubt. You saw him playing football a couple times too, man. So like he was
insane. Yeah. He's the best athlete I think I've ever seen.
He's impressive for sure.
Not very smart though.
Hey, he made it though. He made it.
He missed. Never mind. I'm not gonna say that.
He made, once he made it to the top.
I don't know what I can say and what I can't say on that, so I'm not gonna say it.
It's impressive. Again, shout out to him. Shout out to all the St. Louis guys. You got him. You got Jason Tatum, Bradley Beal, Matthew Tkachuk.
Both of them, Brady and Matthew.
Yeah, Brady and Matt. Yeah, I'm sure there's a whole list. I could go on for forever.
There's a lot of really good athletes in the area.
There is. I'm proud to be from there. You know what I'm saying?
Even the wrestling, there's a lot of great wrestlers from St. Louis. Randy.
Again, Seidel. You know what I'm saying? So, or Evan Bourne, whichever one you
same thing, same guy. So, Trevor Murdoch was an NWA champion.
Yeah, it's
he's from Kansas City.
Yeah, the city has a lot of talent. I feel like people are seeing now. Even now, you might not know who this is, but rap Metro Boomin, he did a lot of stuff with WWE too. He's one of the best producers in the world. He's from here.
He's from here?
Mm-hmm. Metro Boomin. You know him?
Only because her friend almost got hit by a car.
Yeah. So
his car.
Yeah, he was driving it. I think he was playing Delmar Hall, and my coworker and her friend were down there just like shopping, and they didn't know he was playing. But they're crossing the street, and he almost hits them with his SUV.
Oh, no.
And he rolls down the window, and they were like, oh, God, it's going to be some guy yelling at us. No, it's Metro Boomin, and he's like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. And they're like, holy shit, it's Metro Boomin.
That's wild.
And she's like, oh, no, like, don't worry about it. He didn't hit us. And she comes into work the next day. Only thing she says to me, she goes, I got something for you. And she's like, I could have died if Metro Boomin hit me with his SUV. I'm like, what?
That's wild. You said it was about Delmar Hall?
Yeah.
I've actually wrestled in Delmar Hall. That's why when you said that, I
was at the pageant. I wasn't at Delmar.
Delmar Hall.
I've seen you wrestle at the
pageant. They ran a few shows. Glory Pro ran a few shows at Delmar Hall.
I don't really like the pageant for wrestling.
I haven't set, you know what I'm saying? I've always wrestled. I haven't been in the crowd, so I can't really, you know what I mean?
If you're not going to sell that place out, don't go there.
Yeah.
Because it felt so empty.
I haven't,
the last time I was there, Suede wrestled Morrison.
Yeah.
And the crowd was just not there.
Yeah, see, I don't notice those things because, again, I'm,
You're locked in.
Yeah, locked in the ring, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't pay attention. But I know Delmar Hall is another great venue, too. I think Big X The Plug has a concert there this Friday.
Who?
Big X The Plug. Okay, well, you're not in the rap, so you're not going to know who that is. You guys might not know who it is either.
I don't.
Yeah, he's a rapper.
She's like hard rock.
Okay, yeah. He's an up-and-coming rapper. I think he has a concert there this Friday. I actually went to a Rod Wave concert the other night. Rod Wave. You know who Rod Wave is? Yeah, love Rod Wave. It was amazing.
What was your first concert?
Oh, man, my first concert, bro. This goes back to maybe being a kid, going to Six Flags.
My first one was in August.
Oh, ever?
Ever.
That's wild.
22 years old.
Who was it?
So, if we're being technical, it was Uncle Cracker at the fair.
I've never heard Uncle. Is he a known?
He's Kid Rock's friend.
Okay, that's an interesting name, Uncle Cracker.
Yeah.
You know the song All Summer Long?
I'd have to hear it.
It's a Kid Rock song. It's a rip off of Sweet Home Alabama.
Okay, gotcha.
You heard it, you would know it. Yeah. He wrote that song, Kid Rock.
Okay.
He sang Follow Me, Drift Away, that stuff. Oh, he covered Drift Away.
I've never heard the name. It's kind of wild. It's interesting.
But now the actual one I'll say was my real first one was Green Day.
Okay, yeah, I've heard of Green Day.
I would hope.
Yeah.
I would hope you've heard of Green Day.
Yeah.
I think Green Day is probably my favorite band. I think Garth is probably my favorite ever. I think Green Day is a close second.
My first one, it was back in again, I did a lot of stuff when I was younger, probably 4 or 5, maybe 6. It was a Dietrich Haddon. He's a gospel singer. Shout out to Dietrich Haddon, really good gospel singer. And that was at Six Flags. It was cool.
Oh, yeah? Right by me.
Yeah. Yep.
Six Flags is like 3 minutes from my house.
Yep. Oh, really?
Like 5, but yeah.
Yeah, so it was him. Let's see. Here recently I went to 2 this year. The Rod Wave one, which was the last Friday. And then earlier this year I went to the Drake and J. Cole concert. Which that one was super cool. That one was fun. Really fun.
I don't know who J. Cole is, but I know who Drake is. Oh, man. At least I know who Drake is, right?
I don't want to say you know who J. Cole is because I said that about Travis Scott. Then you pulled it up and you didn't know who he is. But
I tell you this, I saw a picture of Lil Wayne the other day, and I didn't know who it was.
What?
I know the song. I know that one song.
At least you're true to, you know what I'm saying? You're true. You do not listen to rap.
I don't.
So you're true to it. Like
genuinely.
You're like a true rap music hater. He doesn't listen to it. He doesn't know the rappers. I can't even be mad at that. I love rap, but I can't even be mad at it because you legit.
When Sexy Red came out, I knew the song. I had no idea.
I respect the fact that he does not know who, like, he legit, like, it's almost he's committed. Like, it's almost impressive. Like, not know who Travis Scott is, like J. Cole, not know who that is. That's almost impressive.
I know Drake, but Drake's not really.
Because even like genres I don't listen to. Like, you can name people, and I still heard it. Like, who was again?
Alice Cooper.
Even though I'd heard the name, now I thought it was a mistake. I thought it was a girl, and they used it was a guy. But again, even I still knew the name.
I know the name. I know some. I've heard the name Travis Scott. I don't know who.
Oh, you heard that? Okay.
Yeah, but I still don't know who he is.
That's still,
Or like, who was it?
J. Cole.
J. Cole. Yeah, I have no idea who J. Cole is. I've heard the name, but I have zero clue who J. Cole is.
Future, you know what Future is? Nope. Kendrick Lamar.
I've heard of Kendrick Lamar. I don't know what he looks like.
You really don't know what he looks like?
If P. Diddy's in the news now, right? I have zero clue what P. Diddy looks like.
What?
I don't know what Jay-Z looks like. If you show me a picture of Jay-Z, I would not know who it is.
So concerned where he was transitioning with that. P. Diddy's in the news now, right?
Yeah, I kind of went silent. I was like,
we could go down that hole, but we don't need to.
That's kind of wild that you don't know what they look like.
You don't?
Like, I'll look him up right now. Let's see. But I don't think I know what P. Diddy looks like.
I feel like you have to if he's in the news all the time. You must have seen one photo.
You know what? You know why I've seen a picture of him? Because I had to edit that story for news class the other day.
Oh, okay.
I had to edit it for our news class. We're in a news class together.
To be fair, though, there's a lot of, like, country artists that I may listen to that if you show me a picture of them, I may be like, But I still at least, like, I know their songs, you know what I'm saying? I know their names, but, like, you were hey.
It's not a bit either. It's...
No, clearly. I believe it. I believe it 100%.
So, you know Learn from the Rizzuto show?
Yeah.
She's done some Glory Pro stuff a little bit. We had her on, I guess this was a while ago. I don't even know if you were, this might have been the other interview with her. I said something, and she goes, "How are you a radio DJ?" And I said, "Excellent question."
That is.
Oh, you know what it was? I'd never put it together. Like, I know Ozzy Osbourne, and I know Black Sabbath. I never put it together. That Ozzy was in Black Sabbath. And she's like, "How are you on the radio?"
Bro, one of these days somebody's gonna offer you like a 7-figure radio job, but it's gonna be like a high-end like rap radio station.
Oh.
Yeah.
Don't do that to me.
And either you accept it and get that money, or you just turn it down. At that point, then what are you gonna do? Are you gonna just?
Hey, Liv Maddox said it, and Lance Hildebrand said it to me. I've heard Liv said it on the radio, and Lance told me in person. He said, "It's not about what they play; it's about what they pay."
Yeah. Well, but what are you doing in that situation?
I'm learning about rap music.
Yeah, bro, you got to at this point. He's gonna call me back, like, hey, can you tell me more about Travis Scott? Yeah. I got you, bro. Even though Travis Scott's not, I mean, I like Travis Scott, but he's not like my favorite. You know what I mean? I know him. I enjoy his music.
I know Eminem. I could pick him out of a crowd.
Yeah, I could. I would hope. You know,
I could pick Ice Cube out of a crowd.
Okay. That's a start.
It's because I've seen his movies. But
oh man,
I don't know if that counts.
That's like some people who like, there's some people that's like. When like some people don't know Ice Cube as a rapper. Some people only know him as an actor. Like The Rock. Some people don't know The Rock as a
wrestler.
Yeah, some people, I'll be like, oh, The Rock. Like, oh, the actor? I'm like, he wrestled, right? He wrestled?
Here's a fun connection here. NWA 75 was at the Chase Hotel. I sent my buddy a text, and I said, "Hey, you want to go to this?" And he goes, "There's no way you want to go to an NWA show." He was thinking the band.
Oh, yeah.
I'm thinking the National Wrestling Alliance.
Yeah.
Funny thing was, Ice Cube was in town for Evolution Fest that day.
Really? That's insane.
Yeah. So it was NWA 75, and Ice Cube was also in St. Louis.
And the NWA wrestling was definitely around before. NWA rap group.
Way before. NWA is 75 years
been
old.
Been around oh my gosh.
It's one of We were talking about like one of the most historic wrestling promotions.
Yep.
Dusty was the champ.
Yep.
Flair was the champ.
Harley Race.
Tyrus.
Yeah, Tyrus was. Yeah.
Tyrus is the worst wrestler ever.
Yeah.
I have never seen a worse wrestler than Tyrus.
He made it to the top though. You know what I mean?
I
never.
like Tyrus.
It's hard for me to argue success.
I've met him.
Yeah.
He's a nice guy.
Mm-hmm.
My grandpa is a big fan of him. You know, he's on Fox.
Yeah.
A lot. He loves him,
Mm-hmm.
and he's good on there. He knows what he's talking about. But he's an awful wrestler.
I can never argue success when people are like, I don't know how this person blew up or that person. I don't question it. You know, success is.
I'm talking about 50-year-old Tyrus. Like
You can't talk about the Funkasaurus like that.
What?
You can't talk about the Funkasaurus.
No, the Funkasaurus
like
was great. Brodus Clay
That was kind of wild too. That build up was wild because I didn't expect him to be like the Funkasaurus. You know, I remember being a kid and I'm like, oh man, like, I wonder what his big new mean character, and he comes out like Funk is on the road.
He comes out with Hornswoggle.
Yeah, I was like, oh, but he made it work.
Hornswoggle used to bully him.
Him and then Lord Tensai.
Yeah, Tensai joined the group.
They made that work. Like
now he's
they had the Funkadactyls, Naomi and Cameron.
Cameron's another one who was not a great wrestler.
But like I give credit, they
she
make
was
it
Tough Enough, I think.
She was the best wrestler.
They make
up over there.
They make stuff work, man. They
do. More power to them. More power to them.
You know, like wrestlers sometimes, you know, they may be given like a role that they don't want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you're gonna be the chicken delivery man. I don't know. That's something random. I just
Red Rooster.
You know, yeah. So, but like
Taylor.
guys make it work. You know what I'm saying? So like, shout out to them because like, imagine the pressure. Like you going in, you think you want to be one thing, and they tell you like, oh no, you're gonna be the cricket man. It's like, how am I gonna make this work? You know what I'm saying? But they find a way to make it work. So
or Dusty wearing polka dots.
Yeah, all types of wild stuff, man.
Well, Dusty's the reason Brodus Clay was a thing. Because Dusty made him dance, and he's dancing with Dusty. You can't say no to Dusty.
No.
It's like, let's get into this. You train. We kind of glossed over this. You mentioned it a few times. Harley Race.
Yeah.
You have a connection with Harley Race. Tell us about that a little bit.
So, I did get to spend before he unfortunately passed away in August of 2019. I did get to spend some time with him when I first started training there. So it was crazy when I first started training. I still had like, I would say 2 months left of high school.
Okay.
But I already I already had all my credits and everything, so I was set to graduate. You know,
right.
There was no question in that. And my amateur wrestling season had just finished up, and it did not end the way I wanted it to end. So I was like, man, I was kind of bummed about that, and I was still trying to decide, like, do I want to try to wrestle amateur in college, or like, what am I going to do? Do I want to go to college and major in this or major in that, like kind of, figuring out. In the back of my head, I knew, of course, when I was younger, I always wanted to be a wrestler, you know what I'm saying? Like, but that's something you never think, like, you never think you'll actually do. You know, when you're a kid, you'll say, oh, I want to be this or I want to be that, but you never think you'll actually do it. But that year, even before my amateur wrestling season had started that year, I was just out of curiosity. Like, when I showed you guys a clip of me doing, like, the drop kick and the RKO.
She said that was in the cafeteria?
Yeah, that's where we practiced, because the cafeteria is huge.
Yeah.
Like how it's ridiculously big. Like it's huge. So
the wrestling practice in the cafeteria.
So no, that was a cheer practice.
Okay.
Wrestling practice would be somewhere else.
I think my school did that too.
Yeah.
Their cafeteria was gigantic.
Yeah, so they put the cheer mat because we had so many sports going on at one time,
right.
Make space for everybody. But so leading up to my amateur wrestling season that year, I was just, looking at like wrestling schools. I'm like, but like they were super expensive. Like pro wrestling training is expensive.
It's so expensive.
So I was like just looking up these different places. I'm like, hey, man, it'd be cool. If I had the money, I wish I'd go here, I'd go there, whatever, daydreaming about it. Amateur wrestling season happens. It ends, again, it didn't end the way I wanted it to. So now I'm like, what's next? Like, what am I about to do? Like now you got to start really figuring out, like, what are you about to do? And again, really going back and forth between wrestling amateur in college or trying to start professional wrestling. And I just randomly saw, like just scrolling through Facebook, I saw an ad. And it was like, oh, the Harley Race Wrestling Academy is doing like a free tryout month to see if you can make it or if you want to try to be a professional wrestler. And I was like, man, it kind of felt like fate. You know what I'm saying? Like around this time, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. And like now this pops up at this time. So it's kind of crazy because I don't think about that part often either. Like the fact that like, around the time, I'm high school. I don't have like I didn't have a job in high school, so like I don't have money to just throw at wrestling training. You know what I'm saying? And of course,
birthday money.
Yeah, and of course your parents aren't they'll support you in everything you do, but they might not be too keen on like wrestling training.
Spending
like,
$3,000 to send you to wrestling school.
Yeah.
May or may not work out.
Yeah, so
chances are probably in their mind.
Yeah, because it doesn't for a lot of people.
Yeah,
like, and I'll circle back to that. Remind me, because it doesn't for a lot of people. It doesn't work out, but so around that time. So happened that they do like a free trial month. I'm like, man, like
you can't pass that up.
Yeah, like stars are aligning. You know what I'm saying? So I do that. Back to what I was saying when it doesn't work out for a lot of people. When that tryout month had started, I think there was 15 people, between 15 and 20, and Raheem was one of them too.
Really?
That's where we technically first met each other. Although he wrestled amateur in high school too. He was a grade above me. But our schools would wrestle at the same tournaments. Mm-hmm. So once we found that out, we were like, oh, dude, you were at this tournament? Oh, I was at that tournament.
It's such a small world.
Yeah.
You guys went to high school together.
Yeah. Him and I were a lot.
That's crazy.
We were at a lot of the same wrestling tournaments.
That's
just
crazy.
We didn't know each other.
Where did he go?
Hillswood West.
Okay.
Yeah, we just
that's not too far from.
Yeah. We didn't know each other, but we'd be like a lot of the same, But so again, the free month starts, and there's like 15 to 20 people there on day one. By the last day. So 2 people left. It'll take a while to guess who the 2 people were. You and Raheem. That's it. So everybody else hit for whatever reason. They had to stop, or they may have gotten hurt, or life took it, whatever. But they had to stop along the way. So again, then during that time was my first time meeting Harley. But so that's kind of how I got my start. And then after that free month, I was like, man, like I got to keep going. So then I just made a way to be able to, gather up all my graduation money, threw it at that, all birthday money, all whatever I could, get
everything
together.
You had.
Yeah, and just started training, and that was, never looked back from there. But again, that was, some of my first interactions with Harley, which this time he was in like a motorized wheelchair, so he would love to
he was pretty old at the time.
Yeah, and his grip though, bro, like
I can imagine.
Like he would shake your hand, but then he would kind of like squeeze it and like it'd bring you down your knee. I'm like, oh my gosh! Like,
but he's boss.
Like this 70-something-year-old man has me like wincing in pain right now, which is kind of crazy.
Did he always have a cigarette in his mouth?
Yeah, a lot of the times. Yeah, or he would
That's
like
real. That's not made up.
A lot of the times, or he would like jokingly run over your foot with his like motorized wheelchair, which like it would hurt. Like it wouldn't break your foot or anything, but like it definitely hurt because I'm like it's his weight on top of the.
Harley was a big man too.
Yeah. So
even when he was old, he was a big man.
He would joke around a lot, about that type of stuff. But like he was still, man. Some of the pointers he would give was like amazing. And by that point, he had forgotten more about wrestling than I'll ever even remember.
Yeah.
So, but and he wasn't good with like remembering people's names or anything. But I remember one day during training, he actually called my name, which like because he would never call any of the students by the name because he would remember them. So like he was like, Moses, come here, and I'm like,
that's really cool.
I looked at Raheem. He's like, don't look at me. He's talking to you. And I went over to him and he gave me some pointers.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so it was, it was really awesome to be able to spend time with a legend like that because that's, for somebody as young as I am, like to be able to say I did, get to learn. Although it was limited, he wasn't able to get in the ring and physically show stuff, but like he was still kind of overseeing it, and keep his eye out if he noticed things and be able to say like I had that tutelage and that knowledge that I learned from him is amazing because that's something that's like a lot of the guys. There's been a lot of people from the Harley Race Wrestling Academy that didn't make it big. You got Tommaso Ciampa trained there. He's one of the biggest ones. You got
Mr. Perfect's two of Mr. Perfect's kids.
Yep. You got Simon Gotch. Vaudevillains. He trained there. You got multiple referees.
John Cone bought the ring.
Yeah, like multiple referees and people in WWE now came from there. So like. But they were like a generation above me, So for me and my age and my generation, be able to say like I learned from like a legend of his status is just amazing. So yeah, it was it learned a lot from him before he again unfortunately passed in August of 2019. But yeah, he was funny. He liked to joke around and play around a lot.
He doesn't look like a guy that likes to joke around.
No, he would love to. Again with the handshake thing and like stuff like that. It was a big thing for him. Like just playing pranks and stuff like that, but yeah, he was amazing.
I don't know, running over somebody's foot with the
it might have been. It wasn't funny for me. It was funny for him, but yeah. So that's.
Oh, but I can see that. I can see that being hilarious if I was the one doing it.
Yeah, I still got. I see.
That's pretty cool.
It's my alternate screensaver.
That was right before he passed. Right before I got about a year before I started watching.
That's when I had no facial hair.
You were really young in that.
Yeah. That was 20.
18?
Might have been 2019, because by the time I started having my gear, it was close. Because I debuted April 6th of 2019.
He still looks like he's kind of a crazy man.
Yeah, I'm sure, bro, if his legs were working properly, I'm sure he probably could still get in there and whoop me, whoop up anybody, whoever he wanted to. So,
have you ever heard the story that Hogan tells about him?
Which one? There's been so many.
Well, it's Hulk Hogan. So he told us on Rogan a year or two ago. What promotion was Harley working for when Vince was taking over the territories?
Kind of everywhere. So the way the territories worked,
was he in like the AWA?
No, it was like you had your NWA and you had like a bunch of territories that were under the NWA. So they all had their different names.
He was in the Kansas City territory.
Yeah, he was more so up in Kansas City at that time.
The story Hogan tells is that Vince was buying everything out. Hogan's
actually, I do know the one you're talking about.
Do you know the story?
Yeah.
You think this is true? Should I tell the story and then
you can? I mean, it's already out there.
Yeah, this is not a Jack Garner story. This is a Hulk Hogan story. Mm-hmm. He says that they were running a show in Kansas City, and that's Harley's territory. Yep. Like, you don't mess with Harley.
Yeah.
And they run a show, like, right down the street from whatever. I can't remember the promotion. The story is Hogan's sitting on the toilet, and Harley kicks the door down and pulls a gun on him and says, the only reason I don't kill you right now is because I need a job.
that again, so that's like, I don't know. I never really asked Harley if that was true or not.
I don't think that was like a public story.
Yeah,
at the time.
But like he said, he's told there's so many Harley stories out there now, and that's one of them.
He ripped the guy's eyeball out one time.
But
no, I'm pretty sure that was Haku.
I think it was both of them.
Which I have met Haku too.
You met Haku?
I did. He was at NWA.
Oh yeah.
NWA show, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me if it was true. It wouldn't surprise me if it was false. I'll say that.
You know what I mean? That?
Yeah, because he was a legit guy, man. Like, there were some of those guys that you didn't mess with back then that you were scared of, and he was one of them. Him along with Haku, like, those are some guys that you were like, if you're going out, hitting the town after a show, those are two guys that you want with you just in case something goes down. You know what I mean? So yeah, he was legit, man. He's 101.
Earlier this year, there was some St. Louis Wrestling Hall of Fame thing, the Aviator Hotel, I think.
Okay, I think I might have heard a little.
I think Cowboy Bob was getting inducted. Randy was there.
Met him too. Cowboy
I was supposed to go with my grandpa, and I couldn't go because I had to work. It was a last minute thing we found out. Couldn't go. And he texted me. He goes, "You know who Haku is?" And I said, "Yeah, I know who Haku is." He sends me a picture of Haku choking him out.
Oh man,
I was like, "What?
Yeah,
what? What is this?" Like, you meet Haku, and then I think Ted DiBiase was there. He didn't get to talk to him, but then he sent me another picture with the whole Orton family. I was like, "What? The one time I don't go?"
Man, you should have called off.
Couldn't.
Yeah.
I can't really call off.
No, I get that. I get that. Yeah.
Even if I'm sick, I kind of have to go in.
Yeah, which is kind of crazy too. A lot of jobs are weird like that, man. But yeah,
mine, it's like because there's two people. I work at the game show place. It's like we'll play games you've seen on TV. I can't say the name of them.
Yeah.
Copyright, but
yeah,
I'll host it. And there'll be somebody behind the computer. If an hour before, I can't just call in because somebody has to be there.
No, for sure. That
it's
makes
like
sense.
a lot of money.
Yeah,
that we would lose out on if somebody didn't show up.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, though that Hall of Fame, there was a lot of people there at that one. Yeah.
Were you there?
No, I wasn't there for that.
I wish I was there.
Might have been at a show during that, but
they had a show.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, I did see a lot of pictures from it, and I do know there's a lot of top name people that were there.
I think JBL was there. Haku was there.
Yeah,
Haku, his daughter is Tyrus's baby mama.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's kind of crazy.
Technically, down the line, Tyrus is part of the bloodline.
Hey, maybe he comes back.
And the same way Naomi's a part of the bloodline.
Maybe he comes. Maybe he's the one behind all the shenanigans. Everybody think it's The Rock. They think it's The Rock. Maybe Tyrus. You know what I'm saying?
You know how bad that.
The Funkasaurus is the one pulling the strings.
Do you pay attention to Meltzer stuff at all?
No, not really.
Observer, like awards, when he does the awards or anything.
No, I mean I'll see like the stars he gives out for matches and stuff like that. But I don't really pay too much attention to that aspect.
He gave most disgusting promotional tactic of the year to Tyrus as NWA champion.
Oh man, that's harsh.
That's ridiculous. It wasn't that big of a thing. So you don't pay attention to any of that kind of stuff?
Nah, not really.
Because it's just one guy's opinion?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
The Observer stuff, I'm more like the awards.
Yeah.
I'll pay attention to that. And I'll if I see he gives something 5 stars, anything with Takeshita or Ospreay or Danielson or Swerve or any of these guys, anything the Bucks are in gets 4 stars. I love the Young Bucks.
Yeah, no, they're really
the Young Bucks are my favorite tag team ever. That's why I hate CM Punk so much. I'm a huge Kenny fan. I'm a huge Hangman fan. I love the Bucks.
The elite.
The Elite. The Elite is what got me into AEW. Mm-hmm. The Elite is part of the reason why I'm a wrestling fan.
Mm-hmm. I would say their YouTube shows were really entertaining. I
wish they still did them.
Yeah,
I used to Dark Order now.
Yeah, I used to watch those a lot.
I mean, they're hilarious. The Dark Order, Colt Cabana.
Yeah.
He's one of the funniest people.
Oh, hands down.
He's, I think, like that I've met at a stand and stuff, like as a fan. He may be the nicest person I've ever met.
Really?
We talked for 20 minutes.
I've been on the show with him. Yeah.
I accidentally mentioned Punk to him. Mm-hmm. Didn't mean to. It just came up. Like, oh yeah, you did his podcast. Like, I hate that guy too. He goes, I don't want to talk about it. He got real serious, and I was like, then I had to buy something.
Yeah.
But he gave me 2 DVDs for the price of 1.
Hey, you got a deal.
I did.
So I ended up working out in the
way
end.
more Colt Cabana autographs than I ever needed.
Yeah.
But I have them.
Hey, stock up on him. You never know.
He's a cool guy.
Yeah, he is. He's super nice.
Were you in that match with him?
No, I wasn't in that one. No.
It was Dan Warhorse and him.
Yeah, no, I wasn't in that one. But I did, got to meet him in the back. So shake hands with him, introduce yourself. So yeah, he was super cool.
Who's the biggest name you've been on a card with?
Oh.
I feel like Suzuki's up there.
That
story I was telling earlier, I never finished. Me and my dad are sitting front row. Mike Outlaw is wrestling Jake something.
Yeah.
Cody Lane was supposed to be in that match, and it was right after he got in some trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad, he's never been to a wrestling show before. He doesn't know what to do. We're sitting front row, and that gate, they put it right up on you.
Yeah.
Well, he sees Jake something running at it, and he's going to ram the gate. So he puts his foot up on the gate to kind of stop it, and he kicked Outlaw right in the back.
Oh.
He didn't mean to. Like, he didn't kick him. He just kind of pushed him.
Yeah.
But it happened twice.
No, did Outlaw did he say something?
No, he didn't, but he saw him in the bathroom later, and Mike just kind of stared at him.
Yeah. No, Outlaw, that's one of my close friends.
I've never met him.
Great.
I've met everybody. Somehow I never met you. I met Raheem once at the Forge one day.
Mm-hmm.
And I may have met Camaro once, but I don't think I've ever met Outlaw.
Yeah, they're normally up there. I don't
know why I never got in line.
And tell them that story so they have some clarification. But
Outlaw, when he turned heel, I hated him.
Yeah.
I hated Mike Outlaw.
Oh, man, that was
I'm sure he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
But I hated him.
Yeah. That turns things upside down when he did that, bro.
He turned on Davey at the pageant.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And my dad, he went to 2 shows with me.
Mm-hmm.
He was at that show, and he was at the Suzuki show, the first Suzuki show. He got up to leave. I think he went out to go smoke, and then I was going to meet him at the car.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, yeah, Mike Outlaw turned heel on Davey. He goes, what?
He couldn't believe it.
It's like, that's what you get for leaving. Because that was like well after the show.
That was, yeah.
It was great.
And that started a whole feud between eventually Raheem and I. And
yeah, because Raheem sided with Outlaw.
Yep.
Because you guys were all Team Ambition.
Mm-hmm.
Is Team Ambition, we'll go back, we'll come back to this. Biggest name you've been on a car. I'm sorry, the sidetracking is.
No, I'm all for it. The sidetracking. Let's see.
Ethan Page is pretty big now.
Man, he's up. I'm trying to think. The Machine Guns.
Yeah, Motor City.
They're pretty big.
They may be the fastest tag team push ever in WWE.
Seidel, that's another big one.
Danhausen.
Yeah, Morrison.
Oh yeah, Morrison. Morrison's probably the biggest name. He has the biggest following, definitely. He got over 1 million.
I'm trying to think, because there's so many shows, and you just forget some of the guys you've been. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes, like I'll be watching, I'll see a guy on TV. I'm like, oh, I forgot, I was on, backstage with him. You know what I mean?
I guess technically you were on a card that had Dax and Ospreay on it.
Yeah.
In a roundabout way, you were technically, if you go to the cage match, you were on the same card as Will Ospreay.
Yeah. But then if you want to go back to that,
and Jericho was on that card.
You talk the AEW thing,
yeah.
Well, then we can go to the WWE one.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember who I was on that card either.
Bray.
Yeah. So yeah.
Bray was on.
And I don't know if that counts. Maybe but.
Did you have a match though on that card?
No, it was supposed to be a match, but then Braun Strowman came out.
You were security, right?
Yeah. No, we were supposed to be a match on that one.
Oh, was it?
The WWE one, yeah, but then Braun Strowman came out.
Were you security a different time on Raw? With Raheem?
No, I've never been security on Raw. No.
Was Raheem security on Raw one time?
I don't think so.
Because I know, like,
SmackDown.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know Dan was security on AEW one time. It was the same day. Dan just didn't get beat up like everybody else.
Yeah. We all got destroyed by Wardlow. Yeah. He destroyed St. Louis. Yeah, but yeah. So I guess in technical terms, yeah, there's some of those guys that could be the biggest people I've been on the card with. But
I think that was before Cody showed back up. I think.
No, it had to have been. Yeah.
trying to think of who. I was there. I'm trying to think of who was on that card. L.A. Knight was on that card. He's pretty big. He wrestled Ricochet.
He was there. Yeah.
The pyro went off.
That's wild.
So I'd never been to a show.
October 2022, I believe.
That was, you know what that night was? Mm-hmm. That was the night Uchi became a thing.
Yep, it was. I do it. So anytime I see that clip
Roman's the answer then.
Oh, wow.
That was, because I was sitting with my buddy right behind the stage, and I remember the pyro went off for Roman, and I forgot he had a second burst of. I hate pyro.
Oh, you don't like? I love the pyro.
It scares the crap out of me.
Now, I always question when I got
sensory issues, and it's the loud noise.
When I do make it to a certain place, in wrestling, man, am I going to jump during my entrance? You know what I mean? Because backstage, it's loud. When you're backstage, it's loud.
I can imagine.
It echoes
right there.
Yeah, and it echoes throughout the hallway. So it's
you don't get used to it either.
No, you just kind of sit there and you're like, but at the same time, it's like, man, this is cool. You know what I'm saying? This power, I think power is cool. It just adds that spectacle to it. You know what I'm saying? That showmanship to wrestling, which is super cool.
Batista has severe hearing damage.
Really?
I read this. I don't know if it's true, but I read it somewhere. Because, he would do the...
I believe it, though. Yeah.
It's so loud.
Yeah.
Especially, I was sitting, back by the stage on the second and upper deck. Mm-hmm. And the first one that got me, Sheamus. Mm-hmm. I didn't know Sheamus had pyro.
Yeah.
Because you don't see it. It's
his is one,
It's just a boom.
Yeah.
And it will scare you.
Sometimes I wonder if that's even pyro or if that's just, audio.
It's a concussion pyro.
Okay.
Because there's no explosion.
Okay, I didn't know
just a loud noise.
That's something
and I hate it.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's new term to me. I didn't know it was a.
That's kind of cool. Concussion pyro.
That's what you call it. Mm-hmm. I just call it pyro.
I call it loud, and I don't like it.
Yeah, it is loud.
I think I got sensory issues or something. Yeah. I've never until I was probably 10. I didn't like fireworks at all.
Mm-hmm. I love fireworks.
Outside fireworks are fine.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the inside ones.
I mean, they do get loud.
Loud.
There's no question about that. Especially in those arenas. Again, those arenas echo a lot.
If it's outside, I think it's fine.
Yeah.
Because even Green Day had a little bit, and you couldn't even hear it because it's just class stuff blowing up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. That's how your phone light up too. This is class stuff.
It's we got assignment doing 2 minutes. Oh, snap.
Nah, it's tomorrow. We got a sports show we're making tomorrow.
Oh, really? Nice.
And of all things, I'm interviewing a guy on the shotgun team.
Nice.
A guy who doesn't like loud noises.
Yeah.
A guy in the shotgun team.
Man.
He's been on the show before. He's the 105th best shotgun shooter in the world.
Really?
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's extremely impressive, actually. Mm-hmm. That's insane.
But yeah, the pyro, I'm not a fan of it. I don't like it. And I remember Roman, he's got that first burst when he's on the ramp. Mm-hmm. And Paul Heyman would give him the title and go boom, 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 boom. And then he'd get in the ring and he would do the finger point. Mm-hmm. They would all do it, and then it would go off again above him.
That dude's just got 3 different sets of pyros in his entrance.
You don't need it. Though. You don't need it.
I like it. I'm all for it.
It's not in a bigger venue the Dome.
Yeah.
Did you go to the Royal Rumble?
I did.
It wasn't as bad. It wasn't as loud there because it's huge.
I actually was I was in the crowd when Seth Rollins came out. I was right by him.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, right by him. I wonder if I could find that video.
That was my first big wrestling show, and I've never been more disappointed.
Really?
It was horrible.
I enjoyed it.
I mean, I had fun.
The in-person experience is still,
Oh, yeah. I mean, I had a great time. But do you remember the card that opened with Roman
Roman
and
versus Seth, yep.
Which should have been an all-time classic, and it wasn't. Seth got DQ'd 5 seconds in.
That's when he came out with his shield gear.
And I was all excited to sing along.
He came out to the
and he came out to the other one, and I was kind of disappointed. And then I thought about it after. And then Paul Heyman turned on on Brock.
Here it is. Let's leave it vertical.
Oh, wow. You were right there.
Yeah.
And Seth came out all full of himself, having a great time.
Yep. I even reached my hand out, got the little high five or whatever.
That's awesome.
Yep.
That
was really cool. I didn't know that was happening either. So
you hear
before then, so you have security, they'll come 3 minutes before then, and they'll be like, all right, everybody clear out. Keep this aisle clear. And they're like, is somebody coming?
I wonder why.
And then you hear it, and then you turn around and oh snap, Seth Rollins. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that was pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Not looking back on it, that was cool.
Yeah.
But the women's Rumble was fun when Mickey came out with the hardcore belt or the knockouts belt, the hardcore country. Mm-hmm. Mickey, have you met Mickey James?
Yeah, I've seen her. Yeah, I've met her
She
a
is
couple times in NWA.
the nicest person.
Yeah, she's very nice.
I was allowed backstage at 73 with the state.
Yeah.
And I was talking to Mickey and Flair at the same time.
Oh, that's tight.
Which that was a crazy, and it was about Tootie we were talking about because the night before she had highlighted her big time because Mickey produced that whole show.
Yeah, that was wild.
And that was when I was like just getting into it, and she was like the top girl in every show I'd seen. So it was really cool.
Yeah, she's super nice.
She kept rubbing my arm. I'm not going to complain about that.
Yeah, no, she's
it's funny. Nick Aldis was right down the hall.
Yeah, she's
standing there rubbing
That's
my
another
arm.
one. You just named Nick Aldis. I've been on the show with him.
Yeah,
just naming him. And, he's I've been on a couple shows with him actually, and now he's the SmackDown GM. So it's just again like the more and more like again I'll just watch TV and I'll see somebody circling back to that. I'll just see somebody and I'll just forget like, oh, I've been on the show with them. You know what I'm saying?
that's crazy.
Stuff like that. Yeah,
That's crazy.
So
That's cool.
talking about WWE, they just released their, I guess you could call it like their fourth show, or like
They did.
a project that they're doing called WWE ID.
Yeah. That's cool.
So I kind of want to know like how do you feel about it, and what's like the backstage talk, like what's the pro wrestling scene, how do they feel about it?
I think it's super cool. It's a super cool opportunity.
Can you explain it a little bit because I don't really understand it?
So it's really similar to the NIL thing that WWE does, where they'll kind of scout like the college athletes, and they'll like bring them in for a tryout to potentially get signed. So it's kind of similar to that, but it's for like independent professional wrestlers, which I think is really cool because a long time I know independent wrestlers, they kind of felt, on the outside looking in with like WWE doing all the things with college athletes, which I don't blame. They bring these people in.
You get Braun Breaker out of it.
You know what I'm saying? Like they bring these people in. They're they're physically impressive. They're athletically impressive. You know what I'm saying? Teach them how to wrestle. I don't find a problem with that. But
some of the best have come out of that.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I know a lot of indie people kind of felt like kind of left out with that. It's like, dang, they're not really looking at us. So now it's kind of cool that WWE has this program, which again, like you said, WWE ID, which I believe it stands for Independent Development, where they'll kind of scout like indie people. So it's kind of like they'll say like, I can post like, oh, this person's been ID'd. So now they're kind of on WWE's radar to potentially like come in for a tryout. And now there's like, I think when I read the post, because it goes in detail online or whatever, the description, like, there's like different opportunities to like, have access to more high level training and like stuff like this, just more opportunities. So again, it gets your name out there more. It kind of puts that spotlight on you because now, WWE is for sure looking at you. You're on their radar at the very least. So I think it's an amazing thing. I think it'll only help.
Regal will show up every once in a while at indie shows too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
How cool would that be if he shows up at South Broadway one day?
Oh, that'd be insane. He's
imagine
the
the
knowledge. The knowledge he has is out of this world. Again, he's one of those people who probably forget more about wrestling than I'll ever know.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, he's amazing. But yeah, the WID thing, I think.
I have a few of their prospects here. Zeta Steel. There's the one that I think everybody was really excited about. I heard the most chatter about him online. Bryce Donovan.
I don't know who that is.
I heard like more about him as a recruit for this program than I think anyone else.
Yeah.
And then that's how I actually first heard about the ID program.
Yeah, and there's been quite a few of them. There's going to be more to roll out, so I think it's really cool. You know what I'm saying?
Because they just started announcing prospects like maybe 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. It's brand new. It's a brand new thing. So I'm wishing everybody, and I know it's going to create a more competitive atmosphere for the indies too, which is cool because everybody's going to be wanting that spot. Everybody wants to be ID'd now, so I think it's cool.
How long till Umaga's kid is in there?
I don't know.
They just say Lance.
Zilla.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if he like needs it per se. You know what I'm saying?
He might just get signed.
Yeah, was it very possible, or get a tryout. You know what I'm
saying? Because he's over at Booker School, Reality of Wrestling. He's got like 3 championships. He's like that's his whole thing now. He's like collecting championships over there.
I definitely think it's only a matter of time for
That's where Roxanne came from too. It was,
Yep.
I'm a huge Roxanne Perez fan.
Yeah.
Have you seen Zilla's finishing move?
No.
His new one, the Flying Samoan Spike.
Jesus.
Or what does he call it? The Super Spike. It's like a Superman punch.
But a spike.
Yeah, but the spike.
I don't like that move. I don't like the Umaga spike that Solo does. It doesn't look like it does anything.
I don't know. I think it might be like.
I guess you're getting stabbed
if
in the
you
throat.
Really, yeah.
But like it's just I don't know. I don't like how Solo does it.
Yeah, I mean it's just everything's visual. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like all a visual thing. But no, Zila, he's
now a 300-pound man flying at you with his thumb in your throat.
Yeah,
he's gonna.
Zila, it's only a matter of time before he blows up. You know, he's talented, so I'm sure. You know, what I'm saying he'll get that opportunity. You know, so and it'll be exciting. It'll be really cool to see, you know, Umaga's son in WWE, you know, continuing that legacy and continuing the legacy of that whole family, honestly, because you know they're really talented. So
and allegedly Hikuleu's there too right now.
Who?
Hikuleu.
Oh yeah.
Original Bullet Club.
Yep.
Allegedly he signed. Lance just signed.
Yeah.
Zilla's probably on his way.
Mm-hmm.
The other Uso potentially might start training. The one that was on Santa Claus's lap.
Yeah.
Jeremiah.
Oh really?
Yeah. I think I heard allegedly he might start wrestling.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. We'll have 5 Usos in it.
Yeah, man, that's cool. I think, you know, for a family to be able to do that, take over, you know, I think that's awesome. You know what I'm saying? Keep it all in the family. You know, have like a family legacy and have like a legit bloodline.
Well, Naya's a part of that family too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Naomi's married in.
Mm-hmm.
Tamina's part of it.
Mm-hmm.
There's another one.
Sammy's adopted in.
Yeah.
Sammy Uso. Yeah, shout out to Sammy Uso. So yeah, they're, you know, and they're talented. They're all talented. They're, you know, they're really good at what they do.
Buzzing constantly over here. Is it one of your phones? I don't know. I keep hearing a buzzing noise, and I don't know what. It's not. It's one of these two.
My phone's not on.
It's not on.
My phone's on mute.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but mine doesn't.
It's those class notifications. I'm telling you.
We got like 2.
Pop up quiz or something. You might want to check it.
No, it's about the sports show tomorrow. It's the highlight packages and stuff. Do you remember the first time you took a bump?
Yes.
Because
actually,
when I was down at the Forge, Warhorse would not let me get in the ring. I understand liability and stuff.
Legal reasons.
But I really wanted to take a bump, and he said no.
So the first time I actually tried it, before I started training. Again, this goes back to my high school, my amateur wrestling days. So we had a practice at this MMA gym one time that my coach trained at, and they had a boxing ring in there. And so at this point, you know, yeah. And I like looked up videos like, how to bump, and I was like, I kind of want to try this. So like after practice was over, kind of looked around, slid into the ring, and didn't know what I was doing, of course, because I hadn't been officially trained at this point.
Right.
And I just went for it and like rocked my head, knocked my head on the box. I was like,
and you did it in a boxing ring too?
Yeah.
There's so I was no give on that.
I was like, man, I was like, you know, maybe I won't be a wrestler. That almost made me that made me second guess it a little bit. Again, you know, you grow.
You got yourself silly on it.
Yeah. Again, you grow and you find out, you learn how to do things the proper way and how to properly take bumps and stuff like that. But at that time, I just, you know, was 17, 18-year-old kid, 17 at that time. I want to see what it felt like. I wanted any taste of what it would possibly be like to be a wrestler that I could. You know what I'm saying? That's like when I first started training, like trainer asked like, so like, what are you guys, the coolest thing about this? Like, what do you guys like the most? Like, what do you like for me, just being in the ring was the coolest thing because it was like just being in an actual wrestling ring, something you see on TV, something you play with, you know, with action figures, something you played on the video game. So like being actually in the ring was really cool to me. So, but again, like when I tried to do it in that boxing ring, almost made me like, you know, maybe I'll do something else. So
I think Kurt Angle said the exact same thing.
So anybody out there, if you haven't had proper training before, just advise probably not try to do that, especially not in the boxing ring. Because you might hurt yourself. And there's some things you want to learn so you don't, you know what I'm saying?
Tuck your head.
End up with a concussion or something like that.
Did you get a concussion?
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I can't remember. Maybe that's why. But yeah. So yeah.
I've been in a ring twice, and that was for pictures with the Riz Show.
Yeah.
The Riz Show, Glory Pro.
Uh-huh.
And I got in the ring. Mm-hmm. I don't know how to get in the ring. Mm-hmm. It's difficult. It's
it is
difficult.
Yeah. Like when you first
do you go to the bottom one? Because I'm short. I'm not tall. I go to the bottom. I think I went to the bottom one the first time. I don't even know how I can't bend like that anymore.
If you never do it, it's just not natural. Like, you know what I mean? I
get in and I lose my footing when I got in because it's a weird surface when you step in, and I come flying in like I come in hot, and Lauren looks at me, she's like, "Hello!" Yeah. I came in flying. I was like, I just lost my footing. I didn't mean to come in so aggressively. I just forgot how to walk.
They're weird, man. Like again, your first few times getting into them, it's kind of like, dang, how do I get into this thing? And then it becomes natural after time. You do it over and over and over again. You'll find that out soon. You know what I'm saying? When you start to, you know what I mean? But yeah, so it's you know, it's a complicated thing. Those rings, it's really interesting, especially how they're put together and everything. It's really, really complex. But you know, as a part of the art to me too. You know, there's more in wrestling than just what you see on screen. You know what I'm saying? There's the behind the screen stuff, especially on TV, man. Like I couldn't imagine like as hard as, some people may think wrestling is, I think like running a camera, like being like a timekeeper, like, all right, we're back from commercial at this point.
I've done some of that stuff.
Yeah,
not for wrestling, but I've done.
Like that stuff would be like bro, because if you miss it by 1 second, or what if the show runs, 1 second over or 10 seconds over, and then now you got to pay the TV station because you went up, and it's I can't even fathom that type of stuff.
I haven't done that extent, but I work for the TV station here at Lindenwood. We have football, we get sports and stuff.
Yeah.
We're on ESPN, on our ESPN Plus anyway, because we're Division I, so we get a contract there. And I was in there one day, and I was the technical director. I was working the cameras, switching the cameras and all that. And they tell me what to do. But I was pulling up a double box, and the guy that was directing, he was telling me what to do, and he was like, "Never mind, just scrap it." And I had already started pulling it up. You got to reset it. You can't just, or you have to like put the right camera in the preview. And I had put the double box thing in the preview, and he hit cut on me. I didn't know he was going to press it, and it took us to black. Oh, no. So we were in black for like 2 seconds, which isn't that big of a thing.
Yeah,
but it was
still,
we caught it. It was like, he's like, fix it. We came. I mean, it was a half a second, but it's not a big deal.
I'm sure it's a noticeable thing too, though, because like again, like when you notice like oh, half second, 2 seconds, that's nothing. But like if you're watching Monday Night Raw and the screen goes black for 2 seconds, you're like, oh, is Undertaker coming back or something? Right. Like what's going on? And this could be just a technical issue, or you'll start to wonder like, oh, is this somebody's like how they were doing the build up for the Wyatt Six? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, are they building?
Oh, imagine if that had gone out.
Yeah, like or that might be their thought. Like, oh, is this a build up for somebody? If the screen just went black for 2 seconds, or they kind of like teasing somebody? You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm sure
There's other stuff too. Like if you watch a replay, like after a match, they'll have the replay package, and a lot of times, at least it's how it is. We got like flares and stuff, so you click a button and like it'll wipe to it. It'll come back. It'll come out of the replay, and like you'll see the logo or something.
Yeah.
At least in ours, it wipes to ESPN, OBC. So if you don't press the button with 1 second left, which I didn't know this, it'll freeze. Not freeze, but like the picture, it'll freeze on the replay. And that happened once because I clicked the button, but it didn't process. And I think I hit it too quick. So I had to do it again. And it froze enough. It was my first time doing it. They know it's student workers. Like, but now I know.
Yeah.
When I hear the countdown, 3, 2, take it.
Yeah, of course. Again, that's why I always give props to everybody in wrestling. You know what I'm saying? From the wrestlers to the referees to the production people to the commentators to the book. It's one big puzzle. It takes everybody has to be kind of clicking together. For it to work properly. That's what I feel.
Just play my GM mode on the new WWE 2K game. You understand how?
I don't play it. It's kind of weird, like playing wrestling games now, like that I actually do it,
right?
Like, because I'm so like detailed and everything. Like, I almost want to like, even with like creation, like, I almost want to import myself directly into the game.
You should do that.
Like, but I can't. Obviously, I can't. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you can.
I don't. You can. You can. It is so deep. But like, even I want it deeper than that. Like, I want my character to do like to move like me, and I'm not doing. You
want the Chris Danger type thing.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I want. I want it to be like no difference between me and like Randy Orton. You know what I'm saying? How Randy Orton moves, like Randy Orton does all Randy Orton's moves. Yeah, you can make your wrestler do moves that's like super close to yours. But,
right.
Like, I want it to be like
your take on a move.
Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like. So until I, get to that point and do mocap for it, it's not going to be like that, and you can get, like I said, you can get it really close with creation suites nowadays. You can get it almost.
Like I said, Chris Danger, he's
but you can still,
a local guy now.
Yeah, but you can still kind of tell the slight difference between like a creative wrestler and somebody who's actually, you know what I mean, in the game.
Oh, yeah.
So like for me, I tried to, when I make my wrestler, I do like the moves that I kind of want to do in the ring.
Yeah.
So like they're mostly high flying moves. It's like my character for wrestling. They're the mix of like striker and high flying moves. And then like I make like my custom uniform or like my gear, like how I want it, kind of like in real life.
Yeah.
I really like black and white patterns.
For sure.
So like all of my gear is like black and white and like mix match. So like I'll have like a white elbow pad and then a black elbow pad.
Nice.
Or like a white knee pad and a black knee pad.
That's how.
I can't sit still long enough to make creations.
Yeah, and it takes so much time. That's the other thing. Like, it takes so much time. It's like, oh man, like, and I'm so nitpicky on it to where it's like
almost I just put like backflips for everything.
Almost like at that point, I'm almost like not even having fun. I'm like, oh, my gear's not the exact. It's missing this and doesn't have this. And like even some moves, like I do like one of my like a variation of my finisher. I do my finisher is like bulldog from the top rope. I call it the leap of faith.
I like that.
Thank you. But
it's fitting with everything.
Yeah. But then sometimes like I do a springboard version. So I go on the outside and I'll springboard in and do it. But I'm like, I don't know if they have that option in the game. So if I
think they do.
It's like if I can't do it just like that, I don't want to create my guy. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll throw it. So yeah, it's almost like games are so detailed now to where it's like
it's too much.
Yeah, it's almost too real. Like I almost need something that's like a little arcadey. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And you had the AEW game that came out that was arcadey and it sucked.
I played it. I played that a little bit.
It was fun for a week.
Yeah, it's just hard. Even just all games in general, it's hard for me to, you know what I'm saying, like, with wrestling games specifically. No, like, Madden games, like, God bless you. Madden games, like, NBA 2K, like, sports games, I can play those all day long.
You good at Madden?
Brother, I'm really good at Madden.
Are you?
Yes.
I used to be pretty good at it. I haven't played it in a couple of years, but I used to be.
Hey, if you want to fire it back up, I'll give you some time to train. I
don't even have, like, what do you PlayStation?
Xbox guy.
Okay, I haven't played Xbox since 360. I still have a PS4. Like I don't play video games much anymore.
Yeah, I feel
the
that.
Madden that I still have, the newest Madden I have is Madden 20. I used to get it every year. I used to play Ultimate Team. Yeah. I beat all my friends. I'd lose every time online though.
Yeah, I love Madden.
I can't play online.
But like I can play Madden all day long because I'm not in the NFL, right? So like I don't, you know what I'm saying? It's not. I don't know. It's a weird way to describe it. Like I don't care as much about, but like with the WWE games, it's like. I do wrestle, so it's like if it can't be exactly how I am, like all the way down to every single movement, every single thing, it's like then I just nitpick it because I'm so detailed like that. It's weird, it's crazy. But in Madden, it's like okay, I'm not actually a 6'2" wide receiver, so I don't care. I'm not 6'2", obviously. I'm not 6'2".
Right.
So I don't care how you know what I'm saying. I just have fun with it. So but with something I actually do, it's like you know what I mean. Just like I'm sure somebody who. Works as a construction worker, they don't want to go home and play a construction working video game. You know what I mean?
You're surprised. My friend's a truck driver, and he likes to play Truck Simulator on his time off.
That's actually hilarious. And I'm not even mad at it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not even mad at it. You know what I mean?
He comes on here a lot. He gets suspended every once in a while because he says something stupid. I don't let him come on for a couple weeks.
That's hilarious.
But, yeah, he drives a semi-truck. And
he'll play a truck.
Yeah.
Hey, well, shout out to him then. You know what I mean? That's tight.
He used to play Farm Simulator all the time, too, and he was an agriculture major.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
He dropped out. Well, that's still the weirdest thing to me. He was an agriculture major.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe people do like doing that. Maybe I don't know.
He's unique.
Yeah. But, yeah, no, that's hilarious.
Call him Uncle Casey here.
Uncle Casey. Well, shout out to Uncle Casey. What up, big dog? Yeah, no, that's funny.
What's the most painful move you've ever taken?
Probably Alabama Slam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to explain what that is? Because I know you don't know what an Alabama Slam is.
No.
So it's when the guy's legs are like hooked on his shoulders here.
Okay.
And the guy is draping over his back that way. He flings him back and slams him like that. So you go like from this way.
Okay.
Say.
So you're like in a piggyback, laying back.
Yep.
Okay.
And this is your head. It's your head. You start there. You're draped over somebody's back, and they fling you, and then you.
Oh.
Drew McIntyre almost killed Madcap Moss with that move.
Yeah, and it doesn't. It just.
How do you land? You take a front bump. What do you do?
You try
to hope you land flat.
Yeah. Just hope. You kind of just.
Who
hope for
gave
the best.
you that?
Moonshine Mentel. He wrestles here sometimes and up in Kansas City a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a huge dude. You know what I'm saying? Like he's very safe. Everybody's he's safe with it, but like it's just it's one of those things. Yeah, it just hurts. Some stuff just hurts. You know what I'm saying? You
ever taken a chair shot to the head?
No chair shots to the head. I feel like with what we know about
people still do it.
Wrestling, you know what I'm saying? It's just, if you choose to do it, I'm not gonna be like, okay.
Cody does it every once in a while.
If you choose to do it, I'm hey, do your thing. You know what I mean? Ain't no shame in your game. But
Jericho
me personally, I feel like with what we know about wrestling, with concussions and stuff like that, I'm like
Chris Benoit.
Yeah, so I'm not willing to do it, me personally. I prefer not to, at least.
You can still take like a devastating chair shot without having it, go to your dome.
Yeah.
Chris Jericho said it one time. He's like, "It better look good, and you better get color."
Yeah.
Because if you get that, like when Sean Spears did it to Cody, and he busted him open, and he had the stitches, and that was worth it to Jericho.
Mm-hmm.
But we talked about sports video games. You play NHL ever?
I did, bro. When I do, I like St. Louis. I like all sports that are St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
when the Blues were good, you liked it?
Yeah, outside of the Blues, I'm not going to say I watch a lot of hockey. Like, I'll watch baseball outside of the Cardinals. I'll watch football outside of, well, we don't have a team, so it doesn't matter. Well, I'll watch football in general. I'll watch basketball. My favorite team, the OKC Thunder. Favorite football team is the Kansas City Chiefs now. But so like
that made her happy.
Yeah.
You a Chiefs fan?
Chiefs. Yeah.
Although we just lost to Buffalo.
Yeah,
so,
I
said
Josh
now. What the hell was that wrong?
I said now people can stop crying about the refs cheat for the.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, guys. Listen, like the Chiefs were like one of them, like the second most penalized team in the league last year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, you guys.
Now sometimes they get calls, but
but like everybody does. You know what I'm saying? Like that's sport. Like let's not.
To be fair, all season I was like waiting for the Buffalo game because I'm like, if anyone is gonna ruin the winning streak, it's gonna be Buffalo.
Yeah, I'm just glad like now people can stop like, Chiefs. Like okay, they lost now. Now you guys can be happy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I can watch like again like baseball, football, basketball. I can watch those outside of my favorite teams. Hockey, it's a little harder to watch outside of the Blues, but I still can.
It's hard to watch the Blues with the network.
But I did. I went to my first Blues game last year, it was this year, which is really cool.
Which one did you go to?
Who did they play?
When did we go? Last week? 2 weeks ago?
Last week.
I can't remember who they played. I can't even recall off the top of my head right now. It was a while ago.
We got to meet Kerber.
Really? That's tight.
Yeah.
No, but it's
he remembered me.
That's another
first
one.
time we met.
It's impressive. Like hockey, like man, like I can't even ice skate in general. So like
you can't skate?
Not ice skate, no. So like I automatically would not be able to play hockey like just off the rip. So like
you're an athlete. I figured you could ice skate.
No, I can't ice skate.
Really?
Yeah, no.
All the footwork you got being a pro wrestler?
Yeah, but like being balanced on those little. I mean, I guess something. Well, then again, I don't do it. Like I never really tried to do it. So I don't know. Maybe I could pick it up.
I don't think it's that hard.
Maybe I could if I practiced it, but it's something I've never attempted. So that's why I say I can't do it because I don't go ice skating every week. So
At some point, we're gonna do that.
Yeah, I'd be down. Maybe
you're invited when we go.
Yeah. Let me know.
Yeah.
I'll just give it a shot. Maybe I'll learn how to. Or maybe
I can teach you.
And then maybe I'll end up being wrong. Maybe I really can't do it.
I haven't skated in 4 years, but I'll teach you.
But
the big thing, just get away from the wall.
Yeah.
If you hold onto the wall, you know you can fall and you can catch yourself. If you're out in the middle of the ice and you fall, you fall on your butt and it hurts.
Yeah.
And you learn real quick, don't fall.
Yeah, get bruised up. That ice, man. That stuff is.
It hurts.
Stone cold. That stuff is rock solid. Yeah.
Oh yeah. The NHL game though, I used to be really good at it.
Oh, so yeah, back to that. See, there we go. I'm going off the
Hey,
tangent. So
we
the
both
one,
have ADHD brain,
the one I got was the one that Tarasenko was on the cover.
I had that one. I never played it, but I had it.
I was like, man, like the Blues players on the cover. I gotta get this one, and it was kind of fun too.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just
Ultimate Team on there.
Yeah, I know. I didn't play that Ultimate Team, but I do know. I'm familiar with the Ultimate Team. Yeah.
So they on NHL, at least in 20, I don't know what they have now, but I had a lot of time on my hands because I was only going to school for like 3 classes, and I was going to work, but I had like 4 hours in between. I go home and play Hut every day.
Oh yeah.
And if you play 20 games, you qualify for Hut Champs. That's a lot. Yeah, 20 games is a lot to play. I would play 3 or 4 a day. I was top 1% in the world for a week in NHL. I got really good at that. That whole story was just to say. That's all I wanted to say on that. That's why I brought it back up. I just wanted to point it out. That
I'm moving houses right now, and I found my old PS2.
Oh, yeah?
With my copies of SmackDown vs. Raw 2007 and 2008.
Bring it up. We're going to play that tomorrow. After class tomorrow.
I'll bring it next time.
I want to play that game. I want to play GM mode on that one, the ECW one.
Yeah, 2008 was the first time they started.
Which one do you have? 7, 8?
ECW. I don't think 7 works anymore because of loading screens. You have a hard time getting into matches, but 2008 works perfectly.
Okay, bring that up. We're going to make a series of GM mode.
That's tight. I'll tune in. I'll watch it. Make a YouTube channel.
I played the 2007 was my first game that I played, and that was like...
You played it so much it doesn't work anymore?
I'm pretty sure I played it so much that it doesn't work anymore, but that was like the last game that Benoit was on, and like they had that weird thing. I don't know if you've ever watched like videos on like coincidences in pro wrestling.
Dude, I know what you're talking about.
One because the last game that Eddie was alive for, Eddie Guerrero passed like a day before SmackDown vs. Raw, like 2005 came out, and they had like a segment like with him and the Undertaker where like Eddie gets buried in a casket or something like that. Or they talk about like Eddie dying.
That's kind of crazy.
And it was like made like it was like. A
little eerie.
Yeah. And then the Benoit one came out, I think, like 2 weeks before the incident happened. And they talk about, like, Benoit's family mourning him because he, again, was in a feud with The Undertaker in the game.
Gonna kill him or something.
Yeah, Taker said he was going to, like, bury him 6 feet deep. And then 2 weeks later, the incident happened. And, of course, I was like, when I was playing the game, I was like 6 or 7, so I didn't know any of, I like didn't know about that. I don't think I played Benoit anyway. My favorite wrestler was The Big Show at the time. So I
The Big of all, really?
Well, yeah, I like The Big Show.
I've never heard anybody say The Big Show is their favorite wrestler.
I played
before.
The Big Show,
I've
and
heard
I played John Cena. And Carlito. I played John Cena, Carlito, and The Big Show.
Carlito, I believe you play. I can see you play as Carlito.
Yeah.
It was such a weird trio of characters that I love to play as.
I like playing as Ricochet. Ricochet is so much fun to play as.
Yeah, I bet he does all the types of crazy stuff. You
can do anything with him.
Yeah.
Imagine once Will Ospreay gets in a game.
Oh, man.
Were you at Dynasty?
No, I wasn't there.
You didn't go to that?
No, I didn't go. Yeah.
Did you watch it?
A little bit, maybe. I think I had like work later on right after that. So
I'll say this, and I want your opinion on greatest match. Ospreay and Danielson is the greatest match in the history of pro wrestling.
The one that was in Dynasty?
Yeah. There will never be a better match than that.
I don't think I can name a great. I don't think that's what you're gonna ask. I don't think I can name a greatest ever. It's hard. It's hard. I don't like to.
I know you don't like to pick. You didn't like to pick favorite.
One of my personal favorites is probably Rock versus Cena at WrestleMania 28. I just enjoyed the build up.
The first one.
Yeah, I enjoyed
the second one.
That was the first one. The second one was 29. Where he had beat Cena for the.
Wasn't that? Was it 27?
Cena beat him for the
27 and 28 or 28? Because 29.
28, 29.
Because 29 Miz main evented.
No, Miz main event at 27.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
I got it backwards.
Yeah, 27 Miz.
My bad.
Event. 28. It was 28, 29, 29.
We just played this game, Jack.
I know we
a
did.
few weeks ago.
We literally played this game.
Cena beat him for the belt, and then with 28, Rocket just beat him clean.
We literally played this game on Rock and Wrestling the other day, where I had to name every main event.
Yeah, yeah.
That was a lot harder than I thought it was.
I don't think I could.
The mid-20s and the early 5 through 9.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. My wrestling trivia skills are not the best. As crazy as
I didn't even think about making a wrestling trivia game because I got one that we played before. We could play it with you. Just guess the wrestler by the achievement. We could do that.
I wouldn't be good at any of that.
I got some weird ones on there.
Yeah, I wouldn't be good at any
I threw
of
in
that.
some New Japan stuff. Like I made it hard.
All that I'm not. My wrestling trivia it's like as soon as somebody asks me like a trivia question, my brain just gone. But that Rock Cena 28 because it was just. I don't know. It's something about it, man. It was just special. You know, it felt big.
Yeah, once in a lifetime.
Big. Yeah,
once in a lifetime.
It legit, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes like people will advertise matches as something big, but they don't feel big. But this one felt big. Like this felt legit.
Do you think they've been close to that since one that felt like that? Other than maybe Cody Roman.
Oh well, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
The second one, especially.
Yeah, I mean the Cody Roman that stuff.
Both of them. Actually.
That stuff felt. Especially
the Usos and Sammy and KO.
That first Roman Cody, I had no clue who was gonna win that one.
I don't even think I ever actually saw the full match.
Yeah,
I was doing something while I was on.
Because we were talking about this the other day, like what match were you most like emotionally invested in?
Yeah.
I said for me it was Sammy and Kevin versus the Usos. Because that was like right before, or not right before, that was like right when I had started getting back into wrestling. Like I got back into wrestling, I was a DJ at a rock station, and like when you're DJing like an actual show there, like you have to be constantly talking about stuff. You have to find like new topics, and mine was like my show was like all things like nerd and like nerdy. So I was like, what can I talk about? And I was like, the Royal Rumble's coming up. I was like, I'll talk about that. And then I was like,
Royal Rumble too.
Yeah, it was 2023 Royal Rumble.
I think Rhea won that one for number 1.
And then Cody came back at number 30 and won it for the men's.
Okay, yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I was like, I'm off from work that day anyway. I was like, I might as well just
I took the day off work.
I was like,
watch it.
I was like, I'm just gonna watch some wrestling. And so like I sat down and watched some wrestling. I like, fell in love with it like all over again. And then a few months later, I think after Mania 39, I was like, I think this is what I need to do.
Yeah.
And then I like started training and stuff after that.
Yes, sir. Most definitely. Glad to hear. I'm looking forward to it, man. Seeing your progress on it. Yeah.
I'm
seeing that. When you show me that video, I'm like, dude, why you not wrestling?
Yeah, I would love to be across the ring from you one day.
Yeah, most definitely.
That'd be a fun match one day.
Yeah, that would. That'd be tight. Then we'll come back on here and talk about it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I got one more segment I want to do.
Let's do it
before we forget this one. It's the most important one. You're a St. Louis guy, born and raised.
Yes, sir.
The food of St. Louis is very important. We call this Taste of 314. Danny came up with that name last year.
That's a nice name.
Great name. Our friend Danny came up with that one.
I dig it.
So we're going to give you 5 foods. And we're not going to tell you what's coming next. You got to rank them blindly. And which one's your favorite?
Okay, so you're just gonna tell me one, and right after that, I have to name what it is.
No, I'm gonna name like the blind rank thing where you have to. I'm gonna give you 5 things one at a time, and you get rank it 1 through 5 without knowing what comes next.
Okay, got you. So as soon as you say if you say hot dogs, I gotta say where it is on the list. I gotta say 3.
Yeah, and then it stays that you can't change it.
Gotcha. Okay, I know. Yeah, I've seen these on TikTok.
Okay.
I got the list.
You got the
you
list?
have a list?
Oh, okay.
So we can keep track of the.
Oh, this
okay.
you've never been on the show either.
Yeah.
No.
This is for both of you guys.
Let's get it. It's gonna be.
Sure.
Now
It's
we
gonna
gotta
be-
find the list of food.
Okay, I'll do it.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna start off with St. Louis style pizza.
Number 1.
Number one.
That's pizza's my
Okay,
favorite.
I like it.
Pizza's my favorite food. That's what I was gonna say. It's gonna be depending on what you say. It's gonna be really easy for me to there's no
That might be the first
That's the
time.
first, yeah. Nobody said
pizza's-
we get a lot of those too.
pizza is literally my favorite food.
What's
there's
your
no,
favorite St. Louis style pizza?
You gotta go Emos.
Those are so expensive.
It is very expensive. You'll get a
small pizza and it's $14.
Yeah, like $72.99. I'm like, oh my god. Yeah, no, I love pizza. That's like my favorite food. in
I
general,
love St. Louis style pizza. I don't have it number 1. I know the list, but I think I have it 2.
Yeah, that's
or maybe
that's,
3.
That's easy for me. Number 1, boom.
Where are you putting it?
I'll also go number 1.
Really?
You can never turn down pizza.
Wow. Okay.
You can never
It's the
turn down
best.
pizza.
When we had Riz on, he was like, "I hated it for a long time. Now I love it."
I had a whole pizza today. I went to
St. Louis style, though.
Domino's.
Not Domino's.
I can crush a whole
We're
Emos
talking
pizza.
thin crust.
Stefanina's has really good.
I don't know that
thin
one.
crust pizza too.
I don't know
They
the
do.
St. I don't know the
It's
St.
not
Charles
too far
area
from here.
at all.
You have to try that one of these days.
Although I will
didn't live
say,
on campus until this year.
If there's
so.
anything that'll rival Emos as far as thin crust here, Stefanina's is.
What about Cecil Whitaker's?
I do like Cecil Whitaker's too.
It's cheap.
I enjoy Cecil Whitaker's.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's cheap.
Yeah,
I
I
think
enjoy-
to me, if a pizza's cheap and it's good, it makes it that much better.
I think they do a late night special, a large 2-topping pizza for $7.99 or something like that.
What time does late night start? I don't have class
I think
till
it starts at
1 tomorrow. 2. What time do we have class tomorrow?
At
12?
9.
12. Okay.
At 9, I do believe.
I think it's 9 o'clock. Right? I think they
like
got late night
9:30
pizza.
right now.
Kind of bad how smooth I just said that. I knew the time. Oh, this guy probably eats pizza every night. No, guys, I promise I don't. Every other night.
I don't know. You get a good Emo's sausage and bacon pizza.
Yeah.
I'm a big black olive guy on my pizza.
I'm not.
I love black olive.
I don't mind Supreme pizza though. I didn't when I was younger. I couldn't stand it. My
hate
taste buds
mushrooms.
have changed. There was stuff that I wouldn't eat, like Qdoba or Chipotle. I wouldn't touch that stuff with a 10-foot pole when I was younger. Now I love it.
Chipotle
You know what I mean?
twice yesterday.
Yeah. So
Not
yeah.
Chipotle.
But
Qdoba.
no, pizza is easy number 1 for me. Easy.
Okay. All right. How about gooey butter? Gabe's got a look on his
That's
face.
2. That's 2 for me. I love gooey butter.
Have you guys have both
do
had
too,
it before,
but-
right? Okay. I didn't think about that.
I don't know if it's cheating. But I'm trying to assume what else is going to be on the list.
Yeah, you can do that. It's not that hard to guess what the other ones are.
I said I can guess one other.
Yeah, you guys both know one other one.
Hmm.
The other two, we go back and forth on what we pick.
So if that's the case,
I'll go. Oh, actually,
No,
if
you
I,
already picked it.
no, I
You can't. You can't
You can't
change
change
it.
it.
I can't
No.
just bump it down
No.
one. I can't bump. Okay.
No.
I'm gonna leave. I'll put it 2.
You guys have the same
I do
list.
really enjoy gooey butter.
About pork steak.
I'll put it
I'll go
5.
4.
What?
It's all right.
You haven't had a good pork steak then, my friend.
It's good, but it's not.
All right.
Yeah, I would say
it's good, but
compared
it's-
to everything else
Yeah,
we
I
have,
guess. Yeah.
I got 1, 2, and 5.
Yeah, so you got 3 and 4 left. You got 3 and 5 left.
Mm.
How about Ted Drew's?
I don't think I've ever had Ted Drew's.
I've had it once.
I don't think I've ever had it.
really.
Also never
Yeah,
had
I was
Ted
thinking.
Drew's.
It's funny, man. That's coincidence because I was thinking
You
about
two
that.
are way too on the same page for
I
this
was
game.
I've also never.
You never had it either.
Uh-uh.
I was thinking about that earlier. I was random. I was people mention Ted Drew's a lot, but I've never had it. So I guess I have to put that 4.
Yeah. Okay.
But I really do need to try it. And I always tell myself I'm going to, and I just don't. It's weird. I guess
It's in a weird area. In South
it's
City.
not in there. I think it's because the fact that I live here, so it's I can do it whenever.
Yeah.
Just
Like
some
going to the
people-
arch.
Yeah, which I have done that multiple times, but
I cried going
but
up.
it's kind of oh, I'll get it eventually, and then I don't know, then I'll just randomly move to LA. No, I didn't. But I need to. I'm gonna try to force myself to get it before the year's over.
There you go.
I say that and I won't, but I'll try.
It'll have to be.
So I
5
guess
for me.
toasted ravioli goes 3 automatically.
Yeah.
I knew that was gonna be
Yeah.
I like toasted ravioli.
Toasted ravioli is almost a unanimous one.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Oh, bro.
You know what's weird though? The ones I like the best, the meat ones are phenomenal. I love them. The ones with just the cheese, I think it's like 4 cheese. It's that name brand one.
Yeah.
Lucia's, I think. The one everybody gets. It's if you get you got to eat a lot here. You got to be like me and eat. You make a box of meat and box of cheese. You dump them in the air fryer. You mix them up. You put them on a plate. Eat the whole plate. You don't know which ones you had, but it's a nice mix of cheese and meat. And I almost like the cheese ones better.
That sounds kind of good. Yeah.
Now you got to eat 2 boxes of ravioli.
I'm gonna have to try just. I don't know if I've ever had just the cheese ones.
They're good.
Like I've always had like the meat in there, but I'm gonna have to
the
try
sausage ones are not good.
They're not. You don't like them?
No, I don't like the sausage ones. I like the beef ones. Like the classic ones.
I'm not hard to please.
Yeah, I like the beef ones.
Yeah, the beef ones are the best.
Just because they're like the classic toasted
Oh,
ravioli.
I'm not saying I don't like them. I still love them.
Yeah.
I just think the cheese ones are a little bit better.
But again, the pizza is always there's not even like there's no competition.
There's an Emo's right up the street too.
When it comes to pizza, pieces.
I'm not gonna lie, I may go get another pizza.
There's also this another. Oh man! Shout out to Mike Outlaw. There's this place that him and I enjoy. It's called Abelardo's. You guys have to try it. They got this thing called Texas Rice Bowl, which it's like surf and turf. You guys know what surf and turf is, right?
Yeah.
Surf. You don't know. So it's like
if it's seafood, I don't really eat it.
It's like meat and like shrimp, like whatever.
Oh, I love shrimp.
Like steak and shrimp with like rice, like a bowl. Like, you get Chipotle or whatever.
I love some good shrimp.
But Abelardo's has a Texas Rice Bowl. It has steak, shrimp, and chicken with the rice and then the cheese.
$45?
No, it's not. It's only like $14 after tax.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? And it sounds like a lot. Like it may be like not like. It's probably a decent amount calorie-wise, a lot, but like you think about it, nothing really unhealthy in it. It's just steak, shrimp,
a lot of protein,
chicken, and then it has like vegetables and the rice. The most unhealthy thing in it is probably the cheese.
I would say I just went to a boba place yesterday, back in my hometown, and I got the fried rice.
What's your hometown?
I live in Alton, Illinois.
Okay, yeah, I know Alton.
Up the road a little bit,
across the bridge,
an hour away,
over the river and through the
woods,
through the woods.
Like grandma's house.
Yeah.
It had pork, chicken, and shrimp in it, and then mixed in with vegetables with the fried rice. I demolished it. I will never turn down fried rice.
Yeah,
I've ever had fried rice.
Shout out to Abelardo. Shout out to Emo's.
Have you ever been to Elevated Loaded Nacho?
No, but there is this really good place.
Over there by the casino?
There's this good place called the French Fry Factory that you guys need to try.
So
it's like Subway, but for French fries.
Thing, we talked about GM series. You said you would watch it. We did make a YouTube video. She was supposed to be there, but got in a car accident. Wasn't there.
Oh no! Hopefully, you're all right.
I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good.
Went around.
But hopefully you're all right as I'm looking at you.
My friend Morgan and my friend Big John. We went around Eureka to every single restaurant and tried the fries. I had the worst heartburn of my life.
Yeah, I can imagine.
For 4 days, I had heartburn.
That's a lot of fries. Yeah.
13 places we went, or 11 places we went
in one day.
In 1 day, in 6 hours. I spent 10 hours on this video. It's like, and like nobody watched it. It got 98 views.
Hey man,
I was so sad. I worked so hard. I spent 10 hours.
It'd be like that sometimes, bro. Like I'll cook up like a fire post, a fire caption. And I'm like, oh, it didn't get the. I was like, okay.
Yeah. Our most liked TikTok is a random video of her at the casino.
That's how it goes, man.
It was a Snapchat I sent to my friend Ella, who one day will be on the show.
That's how it goes, bro.
It was a random video, and it's it got like 30 likes, which is a good amount for TikTok.
That's social media for you. It
doesn't make sense.
You never know.
And the other one before our most viewed thing on TikTok is a picture of me with the shuffleboard tournament. I broke it today. I found it in my bag, and it broke. You know what I'm talking about? That trophy?
The tiny trophy.
Yeah, I found it in my bag. I was so sad that the shuffleboard pucks fell out of it.
Sheesh.
But the nacho place down the street, though, it's down by the casino on the streets of St. Charles, they have crab rangoon nachos. And so it's the crab rangoon chips, the wonton chips, with crab and cream cheese and like chives and sesame seeds. Oh, it was so good.
That was kind of fire.
And it was like $13.
That's not bad.
And it was this big. I love nachos. I can mess up some nachos.
Good. Yeah, nachos are good.
I had these nachos at the lake.
You gotta get like the walking taco from QT. They're pretty good too.
From QT?
Yeah.
The walking.
They got to where you could open. You buy the bag. And then, like, you rip it open and it rips open perfectly, and you put like the cheese and the chili in there.
I'm scared to try Quick Trip chili.
They did something like that.
I'll tear it up. It's good.
Fritos. Right, you do it with Fritos.
Yeah, they got Fritos. Or they got the regular nacho chips, and then you do it with I believe Doritos too. It's good.
Okay.
I suggest it.
Do you think I would do good if I ate chili from Quick Trip?
No, whatever you're about to say.
No. You don't do good with any
real
food.
bad.
Yeah.
I think I have IBS or something. It's not fun.
That Quick Trip chili might. I don't know.
You know what's good though? Like of all places, you know Wally's, the gas station.
Yeah.
They have phenomenal brisket.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Have you had the brisket?
Yeah,
it's so good.
bad.
It's some of the best brisket I've ever had.
Yeah,
and it's a gas station.
Yeah.
But Wally's didn't really.
Have you? I'm assuming you've been to Gingham's.
Oh, have I been to Gingham's?
Have you ever had Gingham's around here?
Yeah, right up the.
Have I been to Gingham's?
Yeah. Have you had the Godfather burger?
No, I haven't had a burger there.
It's like the pizza burger that they have.
I think I did have that.
So it's like
I don't know.
It's like almost like a pepperoni pizza for the bun, and then it's like melted mozzarella cheese on top of it. I'll get one of those and I'll crush it.
We can't talk about Gingham's because I'm gonna want to go there.
Because
and I will just randomly go to Gingham's at midnight.
Because it's weird. Like my eating schedule is weird because like my plan, like the plan that I'm on right now to gain weight, is the goal is I don't always reach there because it gets really expensive. The goal is 6,000 calories a day to get to the weight that I want. I normally, like on an average day, I'll get around 4,000.
Yeah, it's funny. I've never seen you
4,500. That's because most of the time I'll binge at night. I'll go to Taco Bell,
which is probably not the best way to do it.
Not really, no. But being a college student, your schedule gets kind of hectic sometimes.
Yeah,
especially on like Wednesdays. Like tomorrow, I have class from.
You have 2 3-hour classes.
Yeah, I have class from 11 to 9, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Oh, I forgot you have an 11
I have classes,
class.
and I have to wake up early, so I have to be up. I'll have to be at school at 8 to do a project. So I'll be
so far. It's your house is right over there.
I'll be technically in class from 8 to 9.
Jeez. I've had
tomorrow.
days like that though, where I've gotten here at 9 o'clock. I got here at 9 o'clock one day. I was here till midnight.
Yeah.
That was when I didn't live here.
And to make it worse, I have to see you tomorrow.
Oh, you love
I have to deal with you.
Lucky you, right?
But no, so like on those days, you just have to just go somewhere and just get like a lot of food and binge, or else you'll, because if you don't do that, you start to lose weight again, and then all that progress, process.
For sure, yeah.
I wish I had that problem. Fat guy over here. Now here's a question for you. You've been to Gingham's, I'm assuming multiple times.
Yeah, twice.
Gingham's or Waffle House?
Why we gotta keep putting things against each other?
I feel like that
I'm a lover, not a fighter.
It makes me good.
Waffle House is more entertaining.
That's kind of unfair, though.
I don't know. They're both so good.
I feel like they're two separate categories.
They're both 24-hour places.
That's true. But Gingham's isn't.
Gingham's is real food.
I don't think Gingham's is nationwide though, is it?
No.
So that's why I was like, it's kind of hard to put them against. Now if you like Gingham or if you like Waffle House and like IHOP or something like that.
The Waffle House next to the casino or the Gingham's on the corner over there.
I think I'll take Gingham. I don't think I've been to the Waffle House next to the casino, so I'll take the.
We go there all the time.
I don't think I've been to that one yet.
We've been there 6 or 7 times at least.
Oh yeah.
What Waffle House you go to as well?
After so when we did the Glory Pro show when we were on the radio, she was in the studio for us. She was she turned us on and everything. So I bought her Waffle House afterwards. I said I'd buy a waffle, and she orders a sandwich and something else. And I was like, I said a waffle. She said, I bore it up. I get what I want. I was like, okay.
He also agreed to it, but I
think I changed the terms or something.
Yeah. He's like, oh, I'll buy you Waffle House. Well, I didn't get a waffle. And he's like, I said I would get you a waffle. I'm like, no, you said Waffle House.
Yeah. She changed my words. What's your go-to order at Waffle House? I know wrestlers go to Waffle House a lot, right?
Yeah, I get the bowl with the steak and the hash browns and stuff in there. Yeah, I get that. Yeah,
I get the All-Star Special. Now here's what you do. Here, I'm an expert on this.
All right, let's get it.
So what you do, you get the All-Star Special. You get a waffle. You add chocolate chips to the waffle for 50 cents. Because it's only $11 for all this.
Oh, he knows the prices.
Oh yeah, it's $11.75 before tax.
Oh man, you go to Waffle House a lot.
Not a lot, but
enough.
I'm cheap.
Fair enough.
So you get the waffle. You add the 50 cents for chocolate chips. You're sitting at $12.25. Then you switch out the toast for biscuits. For $1, you can add gravy. So you're sitting there and you get biscuits and gravy, a chocolate chip waffle, 3 pieces of bacon, big old plate of hash browns, and 3 eggs.
Dude, I want Waffle House
for $13.
Right
and then he eats all of that and complains about his stomach.
That's wild. I'm gonna have to try that though.
It's great, and but the gravy's got to be hot. You got to eat. You got to because when it gets cold, it's disgusting.
Yeah, no, it's gravy in general. Cold. Yeah, no.
We were there one day, and the lady hands us the menu, and she goes, "I'm sorry, they're sticky." I said, "Hey, I'd be disappointed if they weren't."
Yeah.
if I went to Waffle House and it was clean and it was dry, it was weird. We were in Colombia a couple weeks ago, and the bathroom was the cleanest bathroom I've ever been in.
Yeah.
Man.
At Waffle House.
Like, this food's probably trash then. If the bathroom's is clean, the food's probably not going to be that good.
No, the food is going to be like those style places, those diners. The more disgusting it is, the better the food's going to be.
That's so bad, but I mean, it's kind of true.
It's true.
Yeah, it is true.
It's like if you're sitting in a Waffle House and the fry cook started smoking a cigarette while they were cooking your waffle, would you be upset?
I'd look the other way, but I know his food's gonna be good though.
Yeah, that's like normally I don't like being around cigarettes. I don't like the smell of it. I mean, I'm not gonna complain about it, but like I don't especially inside.
Yeah.
Like at the casino, it's horrible.
Yeah.
Why can you smoke on the bottom floor and not the top?
They gotta be focused, man.
Does that make any sense? Put the smokers at the top.
When they're playing, the different games and stuff, they're already locked in.
Are you a casino guy at all?
Nah, not really. I've been like a couple times, but I'm not like a frequent.
I found out I really like roulette.
Yeah, I mean those
really
games.
Like roulette.
You gotta walk away when you're up, man. 'Cause if you don't.
I've been 3 times. I think the first time I went, I lost $100 in 10 minutes playing slots. Then we went to not Hooters, the other, Buffalo Wild Wings, and I convinced the waitress that my buddy was rich, and he paid for my food.
Oh man, yeah. See, I don't like losing money, so I was like, maybe I just stay away from it.
Yeah, it's not fun. And then the second time I won $25 on a 10-cent bet. Man, just like you did.
I walked in with $20 and I left with $30
on penny slots.
Hey,
yeah,
but hey, they're making a profit.
Yeah. What is your favorite food?
Pizza.
Easily.
What
toppings?
It don't really matter. I mean, I guess you know pepperoni, but like
I'm not a huge pepperoni fan.
It can be meat lovers or whatever. You know what I mean? But like just pizza, like just eat like that's.
What type of crust?
Doesn't matter. Like
You're not picky, are you?
No, like when I tell you guys pizza, like it doesn't matter. It could be thin crust, it could be deep dish, it could be, regular. Just pizza.
You ever had Chicago style stuffed crust?
Yeah, I don't mind it.
It's lasagna. It's not pizza.
It all tastes the same. Yeah, I don't mind it. But
Gabe's gonna fight me on that one.
Yeah, I might.
Giordano's or whatever it is up there. That's lasagna.
Easily pizza. Like there's no.
It's like pie pizza downtown. That's lasagna. That's not pizza.
It's still pizza though.
It's not pizza.
It's pizza.
The only time I argue it is like if I'm in an argument with somebody who's from Chicago. Like, then I'll argue it just to be pro St. Louis. But any other time that
you notice in wrestling in St. Louis, if you're from Chicago, you're automatically the heel.
Yeah.
You remember Paco?
Yeah. He was a big heel.
Does he still wrestle?
I don't know.
Because he was like super over.
I think he might have stepped away a little bit. Just took a break from it. I don't know.
I liked him.
Yeah.
I like to hate him.
Yeah, no, yeah. When you're from Chicago and you're coming to St. Louis.
But then on the opposite end, you get like Lainey.
Yeah.
Who's beloved.
Yeah. It's weird. I guess she kind of, because she like travels so much that she's probably like.
She's not really. She's at every Glory Pro show.
Yeah, they might not look at her as like just a Chicago girl. You know what I'm saying? They look at her just,
That was cool when she won that title over there.
Yeah.
She seems like she deserves it, too.
Yeah.
She seems like an awesome person.
No, yeah. I love what they're doing with the women's division there. It's amazing.
Her and Shaza had a hell of a match.
Yeah, it was good.
Shaza's really cool.
She is.
I've talked to her a
she's
few
in Japan
times.
right now.
Is she?
Really cool.
Yeah, she told us that.
Yep.
I asked her if she wanted to come. After the last show, the only two that were still in there when we were done packing up was Jake and Shaza.
Uh-huh.
And went over to Shaza. I wanted to say thanks for putting on a good show for us. We had something to call. And I said, you're welcome to come on anytime. She goes, oh, no, I have no filter. And I was like, offer retracted. Don't put the headset on.
Yeah.
You could get me kicked off the air.
Yeah. She's funny. She's hilarious.
She seems like she's hilarious.
Yeah,
I can just hear her warming up.
Great sense of humor.
Her and Davey Vega are a thing, aren't they? Or they were? They were.
I don't know. I'm never in the loop when it comes to the.
Because I think that's why I heard she moved to St. Louis. I could be wrong on this, but it seemed like that's why she moved to St. Louis.
I'm never in the loop when it comes to like the whatever like everybody goes home. I'm like. Yeah, I don't say anything until they come back to the next show. Yeah, I'm always out the loop.
I don't know too much about it.
I'm the last person to find everything out. So I don't know. Yeah,
she lives here now, I think.
I do believe. Yeah, she lives here,
which is cool.
Yeah, so yeah, great for the scene.
Yeah,
so I'm not a bunch
the St. Louis wrestling scene. Ethan used to talk about it all the time. Ethan Page, who's now the NXT champ, or he was the NXT champion. Fastest, I think, debuted champion ever.
It's impressive.
Maybe Motor City Machine Guns passed him up, but they're tag team's a little different.
Yeah.
Because sometimes tag teams will win.
His rise, he's a great guy. Yeah, and he comes here a bunch.
He's one of the when I met him the first time we talked, his line was out the door. Because he was talking to everybody for so long.
Yeah.
And I think the question earlier as first wrestler, I'm not counting the MMWA guys because those are guys that are just wrestling on the side for fun. Like the first full-time wrestler I met was Jody Threat.
Yeah, she's amazing too. She's really nice.
She's a badass. Her a bunch of times.
Yeah, up in Winnipeg. Yeah, she's super nice.
She's really cool. She's the first one I met. It was after she wrestled with Warhorse. I think Warhorse threw a chair at her face.
Oh my goodness!
And that was the first time I'd seen intergender wrestling.
That's kind of wild.
And I was like, "What is this?" Because I didn't know it was a thing. Because I was brand new to wrestling. And the next time, I think Dan and Warhorse wrestled Allie and Jody. That was fun.
Yeah. That was it. Yeah, I remember that.
And then she threw a chair back at his face.
Yeah.
That guy takes a lot of face shots with chairs.
Hey,
more power to him.
That's how I look at it. Yeah, more power to him.
But don't like that. You like intergender wrestling at all?
I like all types of wrestling, man. All of it.
Have you done a lot of intergender stuff?
I haven't done a lot of. I've done a couple. Like in tag team stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I like every style of wrestling. I feel like is really really beautiful because it just shows the the creativity of it.
Do you approach it differently when you're?
No, really, I just approach everything the same. All my matches,
they're all just people.
Same. Yep, all just creative. We're just trying to create something, trying to create a moment for the fans. That's how I look at it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
it's got to be to me. It's got to be done right.
Yeah,
intergender because I've seen some bad ones where the girl 90-pound girl beats the crap out of a 6'8" guy.
I feel like
just throwing. You got to use the flippy stuff too.
Yeah, there's good. There's good and bad and everything. That's kind of how I look at it. Like. Just in anything, any type of match, any whatever, you got the good and the bad, but it's all everything's subjective in wrestling. So yeah, that's how.
We talked about it the other day on Rockin' Wrestling. Suzuki wrestling Asuka, when she was kind of over in.
I think right before she.
Right, I think that's how they wrote
made
her
her
up.
debut.
He beat the crap out of her. It was bad. You okay? Okay. Yeah. But yeah. Well, Moses, thanks for coming on today.
Yes, sir. No, thank you guys. I had a blast.
We had a lot of fun with you today.
Fun.
It was an honor to have you, our first wrestler. It went way longer than I thought, which I thank you so much.
I like
for taking
switching
the
the
time.
topics. Yeah.
I just looked down at what time it was. I didn't realize it was.
Yeah. No, it was like just a normal conversation. It wasn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it felt
like nice compared to a lot of
minutes.
other wrestling podcasts. Just asking basic questions.
I don't like to do that. I like to make it conversational. Yeah. I don't like making it feel like an interview.
Yeah. We talk about a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I like to. It feels like you're just hanging out with us.
Yeah,
it was really cool.
That's the fun part.
So thank you for being here today. We'll be there on Sunday.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
We should have another interview. I'm not going to say it yet because I don't want to, in case it doesn't happen. But we should have another interview coming. We may have a couple. We'll see. We'll see how it goes down there.
Hold them up. There's a bunch of guys down there. Hit them up.
We'd love to talk to all of them.
Yeah.
I've sent a few messages out. Nobody responded.
I'll make them respond.
Okay.
I think there's one last question we should probably ask. Anything you want to plug?
You stole my
I guess you should follow me on all my socials. On Twitter, __deliverer. On Instagram, _deliverer_Moses. And then on Facebook, Moses the Deliverer. It's a little different.
We'll put all that
change it.
in the profile.
Yeah, most
or on the description, everything.
On my socials, yeah. And that's about it, man. Thank you guys. I appreciate you guys for having me on.
Well, thank you for coming on. You guys got anything?
I got nothing.
Check us out Sunday. If you're at Casa Loma, come say hi. Other than that, we'll be back next week. Good night, everybody.